monster slaying, or some save the day and we'll wait no longer. Cause help's a coming and foes are running, cause they don't stack against blackjack. I'll save the day, send the creeps away, and display my stylish tan. Cause the hero's here, oh yeah. It's me, I'll save your kittens from the tallest trees. Really, it's a breeze, not a problem. Get down, I'll wrestle hungry dragons to the ground, or fight any giant or goblin. I'll mop the floor with a demon core. If you've crime in store, watch your back, Jack. I'll save the world and charm all the girls, and forget about Superman, patooey, cause the hero's here, oh yeah. So many people sing my song, and all those people can't be wrong. So rest assured I'd understand if you should swoon or kiss my hand as I go forth to take my stand, to see what Providence has planned, to see what destiny has got in store for me, what fatefulness of fate draws near and or awaits. What was I saying? You're great, I'm great.
He's great, he's the hero all the villains hate.
Cause they know I'm the latest sensation.
Bar none who battle evil till the battle's won.
And I'm fun at formal occasions. Now
Helps are coming and thugs are running, cause they don't stack against blackjack.
I'll solve the crime and be back in time to sign some pictures for adoring fans. Cause the hero's here.
Blackjack, I think we're late.
Oh yeah! Always left behind, always stuck on the sidelines, just a guard when things get tough, when things get hard. I'm told to step aside. I guess I understand. I'm just a sidekick, after all. Not very daring, smart, or tall. Nobody who could turn the tide. But what I wouldn't give to be asked to come along, asked to lend a hand, allowed to risk a fall, allowed to take a stand. If they just let me try, they'd see. But I guess there's no point in wondering what I'd do if I were a hero too. There's no point. It's just conjecture. So I won't think about it. I would race through the night, patrolling each city and street, ever diligent, ever vigilant, nothing escaping my view. I'd perform mighty feats, rescuing damsels and battling jerks. It'd be part of a good day's work if I were a hero too. Some might not know my name, but I'd defend them just the same, 'cause it's right and it's good, and the comic books strongly imply that I should. And those who shake in fear will shake no more when I am here. I mean there, I'll figure this out, and when I do evil had better beware. And that's just the start of all that I'd do if I were a hero too. When all seemed calm and peaceful, I'd walk among the people of the kingdom, concealed by my secret identity.
Oh, hi, Inky.
Hi there, Mr. Smith. What are you up to today?
Oh, nothing, just tending the garden. You?
Just enjoying a walk, not leading the fight against evil in any way.
Hi, Inky.
Hello, Mrs. Applebaum.
I saw smoke rising from your basement yesterday. You wouldn't happen to be constructing a superphotonic modulatory energy condenser for use in laying siege to villainous fortresses, would you?
No?
Oh, my mistake. Have a nice day, sweetie.
That was
was close. I'd battle goblin hordes and evil ghouls with evil wards. I would shine, I'd take a stand against litter and cutting in line. I'd keep watch on the skies, knowing that evil never lies. I mean, lies down, it lies all the time, but that's why I'd be around. And when I was fully grown, I'd have a sidekick of my own, and he'd never be left behind. Never stuck on the sidelines as a guard. When things get tough, when they get hard, I will keep him close at hand. In a team, side by side, that's exactly what I'll do when I am a hero too. Man, I really need to pee. I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm not afraid of the dark. It may crawl with beasts that growl, things that grunt and fiends that howl, but they're just sounds, and sounds can't leave a mark. I won't be scared of the night, although I could use a small light. I may feel shivers along my spine, but there's no reason to think I won't be fine. No need to worry about cavern-dwelling trolls, or vampires who eat fricassee of souls, or angry ancient dragons who breathe scorching jets of flame, or minotaurs or dinosaurs, or horrors with no name, or human-eating demons who can fly with giant bat wings and who have the heads of lizards and the front teeth of a shark, because I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm not afraid of the dark. It might be quite creepy here, but all true heroes persevere. I can't be spooked by every bump or bark, 'cause they're just sounds, and sounds can't leave a mark. Wow, guys, it's really scary in here. Do you think you could help me out? Do you think you could sing with me? It's really easy. Yeah? Here we go. I'm not afraid of the dark. Good, I'm not afraid of the dark. Awesome, I'm not afraid of the dark. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much, but I think I better take it from here. Wish me luck, here I go. I'm not afraid of the dark. 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 Wow, I think I'm okay now. And the monsters, they didn't even touch me. You know, I think I learned something important. As long as you get where you set out to go, and as long as you do what you need to, as long as you don't put your mission aside and you're still there at the end of the day, then a little fear of darkness, yes, a little fear of darkness, just a little fear of darkness is okay.
Then a little fear of darkness, just a little fear of darkness, yes, a little fear of darkness
is
liked a girl so much it felt like you just ate a brick. Has your head begun to whirl until you started feeling motion sick? Have you felt your stomach jump, your brain become a lump, your tongue feel thick and fat? I think I like a girl about as much as that.
Have you ever liked a boy so much you felt your stomach turn to goo and felt lightheaded, out of breath, and every major symptom of the flu? Have you felt your mind go numb, your fingers turn to gum, your heart jump in your hat? I just maybe like a boy about as much as that.
Each time she's near, it's like I drank milk that expired last July.
And when he's here, it's like my lungs have simply lost their air supply.
I tell her how I feel, but I'm not quite sure how she would reply. Have you ever liked a girl so much it felt like a giant used her heart as a bowling ball, and then bowled despair, and then picked up the ball again and started juggling with it, spinning it round and round?
Have you ever liked a boy so much that it felt like humongous spiders caught your body in a web and started using it as a trampoline, and then in mid-jump decided they were bored and went out for ice cream, leaving you hanging there alone and upside down?
Have you felt a trifle scared and bodily impaired, like your heart was in a clutch? I just maybe like someone approximately that much.
You might think a man in my position's got it made, that conquering a kingdom is a breeze. That only shows you're unacquainted with the trials of my trade, for the evil life is never filled with ease. Perhaps you think it's simple to be villainous and vile, that one never has to hone one's bite or bark. In truth, I take great pains to get my ill-begotten gains. To be sinister is no stock in the park. It's hard to be evil, it's tough to be mean. You don't simply take a tonic and the next day be demonic. It's a never-ending fight, it's a round-the-clock regime. It's work to be wicked or to make one person sad. To disrupt the common wheel can be so very difficile, and there's precious little guidance to be had. It's really rather tricky to be bad. Have you ever tried to detonate a train? Well, have you? It's not as straight and easy as the stories make it sound. You've got to lay explosives over every inch of ground and read the schedule right, or you'll just waste dynamite. Have you ever tried to break into a bank? Didn't think so. If you think it's simply done, then you're in for quite a shock. You've got to bribe the guard and spend an hour with the lock, and good luck avoiding harm if someone sets off the alarm. It's hard to be evil, it's tough to be mean. You can't simply read a book and cultivate a threatening look. You'll be tired and afraid. It's as bad as second grade. It's work to be wicked, complex to be a cad. You'll have to learn to work a flog, lest you just be a jerk in progress, and an untrained anti-hero simply sad. It's really quite exhausting to be bad. Have you ever tried to kidnap someone famous? Well, the process will add 10 years to your age. You have to rent a lair and buy a freshener for the cage. And it really gets my goat when I misspell a ransom note. And koalas, don't get me started. These Aussies are just constant aggravation. For one thing, they're a giant pain to get past immigration. And how I wish they'd shipped us some supplies of eucalyptus. It's hard to be evil. It's fatiguing to be foul. You can't just simply grab a mask in some melodramatic cowl. You must cause calamity, or at least a woe is me. It's work to be wicked. It's enough to drive you mad. You think your job is hard, you're never running from the gods. And if you've never seen a dungeon, then be glad. It's very, very tricky to be bad. Ever tried stealing candy from a baby? They bite! How can I set forest fires when tinder is so expensive? You try wearing black all the time. I could teach you, but I'd have to charge. All the good slogans are gone. It's very, 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 very tricky to be bad. But it does pay rather nicely.
Once upon a time, there comes a time when the hourglass starts running out of sand. As the villains start approaching victory and almost seem to have the upper hand. Listen hard, you'll hear the distant battle call and the ever louder pounding of the drums. All the signs are pointing to, well, I guess me and you. So put your brave face on, 'cause here they come. It's a final encounter. It's the last confrontation. It's the call to get clever.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentle thems. My name is Gregory Crafts, and I'm your Dungeon Master this evening. Welcome to episode 22. I'm always shocked when I think about this, but episode 22 of Brutes in the Shackled City. Tonight we are broadcasting live on Twitch at Mastermind Adventures, Twitch at Gregory Crafts, on YouTube at Gregory Crafts, and on Facebook at Gregory Crafts and Mastermind Adventures. And we're also simulcasting to the Mastermind Adventures Discord. And I have all of the chats interlocked. So if you're in the chat tonight, you could be talking to people across 4 different platforms, and it's going to be awesome. I hope you guys are having a safe time with quarantine and everything else going on right now. It has been a lot of craziness. I actually, before we get into anything else on this episode, I do want to say I have a 78-year-old neighbor who, when she found out that my wife and I had gotten our first doses of the vaccine last week, because we work in food and education, outside of doing dungeon mastery kind of stuff, she looked at me bewildered because she's fallen through the technology gap of the appointment system that a lot of states have adopted in order to make appointments for the vaccines. I took it upon myself. Got her an appointment for tomorrow. I'm taking her down to Kaiser Permanente, and she's getting the shot in her arm. So, please, though, I'm not just saying this just to brag. Take a minute, check in with your neighbors, check in with your friends, check in with anybody over 65 that you know that might need some help. Also, I have plenty of friends my own age who have had a really hard time navigating this system, who are eligible, who we've been helping get appointments. So, if you're internet savvy, and if you're watching this, you probably are, check in with your community, help them out, because the more vaccines we get distributed, the faster we get to herd immunity, to the faster that I actually get to sit around a real table with these guys and get to play for real. And I'm really, really excited at that prospect, although Tara will still have to be remote because Idaho, well.
She's on location.
She's on location,
Planes exist.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that's what high-speed internet's for. And, but the rest of us, we should all be getting together at my theater and playing there, and then having Tara and Katha and anybody else in from out of town up on our cyclorama. So hopefully that'll be soon. But yes, anyhow, now that I'm done being preachy, yes, like I said, I'm a Dungeon Master for Hire with Mastermind Adventures. I have a whole bunch of different games that I'm offering this month. In addition, well, first off, we have Secrets of the Barrow Maze. This is a West Marches style mega dungeon, and I swear to God, I know I keep saying this, I'm going to schedule a live stream of a couple of these adventures because this thing is awesome, and I'm really excited to run it. And Brutes, you look in the Facebook group tonight, and if I don't post about it immediately after the session tonight, I give you the permission to text me and phone call me and harangue me until I do. So yeah, have at it. But yes, we're going to get this scheduled and running. You guys get to take a peek at this incredible 300 plus room mega dungeon that I'm going to run West Marches style. We also have Jailbreak running Fridays at 6. This is a introductory puzzle room style, escape room style adventure for, it's for adventurers of all experience levels, old and new. Got a little bit of an old school feel to it, but also brings in a lot more of like the puzzle and exploration elements of D&D and some of the lesser known rule sets. So I hope you guys will definitely check that out. Audio is working on YouTube, but not. Oh, okay. Appreciate the heads up there. Also, as you can see here tonight, in the chat, if you like, you can actually have what you say pop up on screen here. So please be nice. Don't be a jerk. But we would love to have you interact with us. We would love to have you chat with us. Very, very excited to have folks watching this and talking with us as we play. The other cool thing about this is that I let the chat assign inspiration. So if you know what inspiration is, it lets people roll a check with advantage. Well, typically in most games the DM assigns it. Sometimes players can reward each other with it. I say that the chat gets to do it. So if you really dig what the characters are doing, if you feel like that they're doing that they're playing their role really well, please feel free to shout it out and let them know that they deserve inspiration, and I will give it to them. And they can either take that inspiration token and keep it, or they can assign it to a fellow adventurer in a time of need. I should also, before I also forget, I'm also running free sessions of Burn Bright, the original Roll20 RPG, or the brand new original RPG by Roll20. You can check out information on that on startplaying.games. I will put a link to that afterwards. I don't have the link handy right now, but really kick-ass looking sci-fi system that I'm really excited to get a couple of tables of going. I've got a one-shot for that I think people might really dig, so I hope folks will check that out with me. Maybe I'll even stream that with the Brutes. And speaking of the Brutes, before I get into introductions, we are down 2 Brutes tonight. It's our dear Lorenzo's birthday today, Mr. Nate. I don't want to say how old he's getting, but he is old. He's a year older than me. He was a year ahead of me at Emerson. So, but he's old, and he's currently having a birthday dinner with his family. So, happy birthday, Nate. We love you. And I promise that Lorenzo just slips off into the night to go off and do something sort of nefarious and most likely self-serving, and we'll RP it off camera. Also, Joe, our beloved Brick, the tank, is not here tonight. He works at CBS, and it is pilot season, so he's going to be in and out until, he'll be in and out of sessions irregularly as work demands until June, I think. He works in development, and right now I know... I know that he's very busy is all I will say. I won't even allude to knowing anything more than that, because I don't. It's not like we talk about anything, talk shop or anything off camera, but, I know that he's just a very busy man and he's stressed out as hell, so I told him take the night off, don't worry about being here tonight, and we'll catch up with Brick next week. So, awesome. Oh, and a friend of mine just messaged me to let me know that she got an appointment for the vaccine tomorrow. She's a teacher. She was having trouble with the system. I walked her through it earlier and gave her a couple of leads on where to get it. But she says thanks again to me and Jen. But, hey, every vaccine right now that can go into somebody's arm is another step closer to getting through this. It's like a wartime effort right now, guys. We all got to pitch in, and part of pitching in is making sure that when we are eligible, we get vaccinated as fast as possible, and no matter whether we're eligible or not right now, we help others do it. So look around, talk to your friends, find out who is able to get it right now, make sure they're getting it, and let's get on through this. And now then, I'll reply to Jennifer during the intermission. But now, let's get around to introductions here, and then we will kick off with the night and get back to rolling the dice and killing goblins. How about that? So let's go ahead and start over this way with our resident druid.
Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Adam. I'm playing Birch. I'm glad to hear that we're now on Discord and YouTube and Twitch and Facebook. In case you're wondering what else is going on in our lives, Feldruucan is live streaming this on Instagram stories. Tara Firth has got a Twitter feed just running through everything that's happened. Seneca, you can find all his comments on Quibi. And Grace Soul is definitely live on Hulu. It's very exciting, all these promotions.
Well, Feldruucan has the OnlyFans. He's running the Brute Squad OnlyFans right now because people got a lizard fetish is all I'm saying. So, all right. Yes.
Hey,
Those
mine's
old
the only
tables
one
don't
where
fit-
you can watch it both in portrait and horizontal.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's
Landscape,
right.
yep.
Oh,
Either
you
one,
fancy.
upset.
You fancy. Well, I almost did a live stream intro lead-in on TikTok tonight, but I was like, one thing at a time. Let me just make sure Discord doesn't melt down by doing this first. And maybe next week I'll try TikTok and Reddit. We'll see. But we're going
Quick
to take...
thing, though, we're in the wrong stream right now. We're in episode 21, not episode 22 currently. I'm getting texts that are like, the thing's not working. We are streaming in
Shit.
the wrong thing.
How are we streaming in the wrong thing? That's insane.
I
Are we
don't
streaming
know.
into the past? Is that what's going on?
Oh, God.
Yes.
It
really?
looks good on YouTube. Oh,
That's-
but it's 21 part 2 on YouTube.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah.
I thought I pulled the right... I pulled the... Damn it. And now it's well after, so that other key is dead. I updated the streaming key here. I don't know what's going on. Oh, okay. Well, you know, this is what happens when you try to stream multi-stream to an event. I will open it.
Send everyone to Greg's YouTube. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what? Let's go on ahead. Actually, if you go to, and I do know that this is working. Actually, let me triple check and make sure it's working. Graysoul, let's get your introduction in while I check stuff. But we're gonna, yeah.
All right, hello, I'm Matt. I'm playing Graysoul, the half-elf cleric, with a party of people in his head that are constantly causing problems. And I think this episode, I'm hoping to get some library time to do some research on who might actually be in my head. That is not who I thought it was. And I'm looking forward to whatever unfortunate things Greg has in store for me in that department.
Oh, and they will be very unfortunate. Son of a bitch, we are not connected on Twitch right now. It looks like it's feeding, but then it stops. Okay.
Our simulcast is actually a replica of what's going on in my character's head. That's why it's a little disjointed and all over the place.
Feed me,
Oh, no, it is
Twitch.
going. Okay, cool. It is going. So, yeah. Oh. Did we lose Seneca? Seneca, you look like your camera just...
Yep. Am I here? Am I trapped?
I can see him just fine.
Oh, you can see...
OBS, it looks great.
Okay, cool. Yep.
I do this thing when I Zoom with some friends every couple of weeks where if they freeze, they just go until they unfreeze. That's how they know to stop talking for a little bit.
That'll do it. Okay, well, it actually looks like we are successfully connected on Twitch at least. So I will say, I'm going to put it in the chat. But yeah, go on ahead and give us your intro there, Seth.
I am Seth Tygeson. I play Seneca Polaris. I can say my own name. Seneca Polaris, Tabashi Wizard of the Blue Crater Academy, and I plan to use the resources of Blue Crater Academy to shore up our weaknesses after we lost the goblin that assassinated Murd.
That was quite nefarious how I did that too. I mean, how the goblins did that too. So yes, let's get Tara in here.
My name is Lauren. I play Tara Firith, the Elven Bard, and I am personally impressed with my own questioning skills from last week. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I thought you did pretty good.
Little good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, little good cop, bad cop, absolutely. And certainly last in introductions tonight, but first in our hearts, let's get Mr. Paul Masterson here.
Hi there, Paul Masterson. Yeah, I play Sir Feldruucan Vorkrist, the golden-scaled dragonborn paladin of Helm. Usually I am one half of the dragonborn crew, but without Brick, I guess I might have to be the tank. Which, fun fact, I actually have a higher AC when I go mace and shield than he does, but I like using my polearm. But yeah,
Polearm fighters for the win, man.
Yeah, I imagine he's off hiding in the shadows, trying to nab one of these goblins. He's very thorough, that Brick.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see what antics we get into today.
Alrighty. Well, that's it for the introductions. Let's see here. Also, real quick, once again, if you are interested in joining me for a quick session before I plug anything, before we get on with anything else here, you can book me. I have a session of Jailbreak, typically Fridays at 6. I'm not going to offer it this Friday, though, because I'm actually heading out of town for the weekend, just to get out of town for a couple of days. But Fridays at 6 p.m. Pacific, you can join me for Jailbreak. And if you use the code FIRSTFREE at checkout, your game is on me. Otherwise, it's $10. So you can play around with me and test things out with Jailbreak for $10 or for free now with this code. And then after that, I will definitely encourage you to join me in the Barrow maze if you enjoy playing at my table, because it's going to be more awesomeness like that. And Brutes, I definitely want you guys to start feeding me your socials, so I can your social accounts, not your social security numbers, although you can give me that too if you'd like. But so we can actually start letting folks know where to follow us. You can actually find all of my pertinent social links here that I just threw in the chat. Connect with me. Would love to talk with you about games and other stuff. Join me on Twitter. I'll talk D&D and Red Sox baseball and what's happening in the world of television. So, and maybe occasionally yell at politicians. So, yeah.
Are we doing a recap, Greg, or are we jumping right in?
As a matter of fact. Who wants to do the recap? Let me throw it out and ask who wants to do the recap. Don't anybody jump in at once.
Paul, may I volunteer you specifically, because you're one half of the remaining Dragonborn? Otherwise, I would do it myself. But because I feel like the Dragonborn voice needs to be heard.
Oh, okay. So there we were, and we were scouting through the town. And after bringing on my like-minded friend Seneca Polaris here, we thought that quite perhaps we would be able to find these goblins and have a sensible conversation with them. Little did we know they had murder on the mind, as our talented bard, Terafirith, walked across the street and caught 2 crossbow bolts, one in the neck, one in the thigh, dropping to the ground. She was miraculously brought back up to health very rapidly, and despite our attempts to speak civilly with these goblins, they would have none of it. However, I do believe it was Seneca who was able to cast a spell of sleep on one of them after a fraught battle with these incredibly stealthy creatures who were able to just pop in and out of the shadows. We talked with Murd, the Shiza artist, who is very good with painting with his own processed paints, as it were, and he was scared stiff.
It's a very natural medium he works in.
Yes, it's misunderstood quite often. I hear it's a really takes a lot of skill and a lot of time to perfect that goblin art. But anyway, we were trying to speak to him, and he was terrified of his what we assumed to be a master, who we're now thinking maybe has some sort of vampiric qualities, because he said Drakthar is the fog, Drakthar is the master of rats, all sorts of things that seem vampiric, but we shall see. And just as we were trying to find a way to either trick him or plant a tracking device on him, one of his homicidal friends cut his life short with a crossbow bolt and was able to abscond off into the darkness, from whence we could not catch him.
I think that's a pretty accurate recap there. Does anybody have anything they'd like to add to the record?
No, sir. Well done.
Alrighty. Well, unfortunately, the goblin assassin managed to get away scot-free. There were no actionable traces or signs left of the goblins. Oh, are you taking the kittens with you?
She's just running away from me.
She's running away at your feet?
Or she's trying to get food.
Ah, got it. Okay. Well, my wife is having dinner right now, and the cats are following her like the Pied Piper and children right now. So it's time for the marching cats to meow for their dinner. They ate first out of all of us tonight, by the way, just for the record. But as I was saying before I got distracted, yes, unfortunately, the goblin assassin did escape off into the foggy night before you were able to make any sort of chase The rest of the night passes quietly. Did you want to do any investigation of the scene or anything like that before calling it a night?
Yes.
Okay.
Couldn't
What
hurt.
would you like to do?
Well, given that Murd is in a barrel, that we should be able to discern the angle of trajectory from the crossbow bolt in relation to how it is in their head. So there's going to be a given arc somewhere within there, depending on how that thing slapped through his head.
Yep.
So we should be able to figure out where it came from.
Well, I can tell you right now that you guys turned and actually saw the assassin up on the corner of the rooftop here.
Okay.
All right. So and then he basically fired and turned and ran and hid. And they do the disengage, run, hide bit over and over and over again, but this time they didn't actually stop to shoot at you before they hid. So they definitely made their way out of there.
So I've drug over the bodies of the two goblins that Brick and I gave a fire and acid wash to.
These guys?
Yes.
Okay.
I think we want to check the bodies for any clues, any items. Check their boots. Check anything that would give us any sense of where they might be hiding, where they're from, if they're connected with anything.
I could tell you right now that these guys are wearing, let's see, they have simple leather armor, nothing too fantastic. It looks like the kind of stuff that they would have cured themselves and patched. It's very patchwork, kind of held together with twine. I mean, it's effective, but not super effective. The goblins like these typically rely more on their own natural dexterity than they do any sort of protective equipment. Their stuff is is set up so they can move in it, not so much so they can, stand. These guys aren't melee fighters, and that is reinforced by the fact that although they carry short swords, they're all armed with light crossbows, and they basically came out equipped with short swords and light crossbows, and nope. Let me triple check this actually.
I think it'd be good for Graysoul to get himself equipped with a light crossbow, if there's plenty to go around.
I want to say you got about 7 of them laying on the ground here with plenty of bolts. So feel free to just take one.
You know how they
I'll do that.
sometimes have 2 guitars on top of each other? Like, you should take the 7 crossbow and just kind of...
I like that. I like where Birch's head is at.
By the way, I dropped my ape form since there's no point in putting goblins in barrels anymore.
Sure.
Are there any goblins that might be not destroyed enough that we might be able to heal them? I know many of them was like, "Your head."
Oh shit! Hold on. I'm all locked up. Hold on.
Question is, can anyone at the Blue Crater resurrect, or what is the spell?
Revivify, but that only works if you do it within a minute. So it has to be raised dead instead, and that is far beyond Seneca's abilities. But we might be able to hire someone to do it.
Okay. Well, hold on one
Sounds
second.
like
Oh, I'm back. Awesome.
Say again?
Okay. I had one of those spikes where I lost everything for a second, and now it looks like I'm back. So this one solved itself, kind of. I'll work with that. Hopefully the stream wasn't interrupted, but I suddenly have a gigantic CPU spike here in OBS. I went from 1% used to 20% used CPU in... This is why I'm a dungeon master, not a live streamer. Not like a professional stream engineer.
Mine says overloaded from time to time, but if I put my thumb right here, I actually can't see it saying that. So it's like the engine light on your car.
That helps. That helps
you
great.
just kind of plug away and assume it's fine.
Yeah, you know.
Power of wishful thinking.
I mean, it is important.
They make
Okay.
attachments that fix that too. I think you could. I think it's called electrical tape. You just put it right
Just
over
a
the top.
permanent
You don't
piece
have
of
to
like,
use
yeah,
wood.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I
Yeah.
do have some. Okay, so the virtual tabletop is not working perfectly right now, but it's working. So I'm wondering, honestly, if the dynamic lighting is causing me a browser.
Yeah, the
bug that causes stuff to
dynamic
crash.
lighting will choke. It'll
It
choke
gets-
the heck out of your stuff.
It gets very intensive, and I noticed that everything starts to lag the minute I put that in. I'm even down to 30 frames a second right now. I lowered it and 720 DPS or FPS to try and ease the burden here. But yeah, the second I open up the tabletop, All right. Anyhow, that is neither here nor there.
We were debating about trying to find whether there's any bodies that we'd be able to take to Blue Crater for raised dead or any sort of sense of being able to. Any bodies that aren't so. I guess Murd.
I do know that there are some. We may not be able to revive them, but certainly there are some who might be able to speak to the dead.
That sounds like a Grey Soul thing to me.
I haven't tried doing that.
Oh man, I bet you could someday.
I mean, honestly, you guys could, if you guys wanted to, you could take him to the Church of Kelvamore, which is here in the city.
I think Murd is definitely the one that we want to bring partly because as a living goblin we have a rapport already, and he's probably the least damaged. But we might want to make sure his pants aren't filled with his paints.
Aren't you? Aren't you guys under the impression he told us everything though? Like I don't feel like he was hiding. I feel
that's
like
the thing I'm wondering is it seemed like he was under a compulsion, and I wonder if the compulsion ends when he dies.
And part of the question might be as well in terms of he might have less reason to be a good little soldier since he just got shot in the head. He might be game to sharing some information now that his friends killed him.
Certainly
Can't really
so.
be afraid
If
of
he
death
fears-
anymore, right?
Exactly.
All right, hold on one second. I'm just looking up real quick because I know the effect. You know, it's really funny. It tells me how long the effect lasts if the caster dies. It does not tell me how long if the effect is nullified if the target dies. I guess
most
they weren't.
effects are.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Well, let's go on ahead and see what's up, and I will. How about this? If you guys want, take the body, and the next day, if you guys wish to go to the Church of Kelvamore, we can see what happens. I've got an idea. Okay.
I will cast Gentle Repose on the body so it doesn't start to break down.
Okay.
Ooh.
Ooh, you fancy.
Could you
you're-
cast that on me like every morning? I'll stay this beautiful and young forever.
Actually,
What effect does it have on the living?
I don't think it does affect the living, Birch, my buddy.
Oh man.
Well, could it at least be the equivalent of a shower? You know.
I think that's prestidigitation.
Ah, fair. That is fair. Okay, so so you cast Gentle Repose on the body. The poor goblin literally lays there with his eyes crossed and the crossbow bolt sunk right between them. It's a little unsettling, but you at least know that he's not going to start breaking down as bodies are wont to do upon expiration. Yeah. So, what would you guys like to do next?
I have some thoughts of what to do during the day because these goblins only come out at night, right? So we can't exactly hunt for them tomorrow.
They only seem to be coming out at night, and they only seem to be coming out on nights when it's dark and or rain. Or every night is dark, but preferably not a full moon and rainy or foggy.
should we take our ears to the captain and tell him what's up before we go to bed?
Well, the captain's probably asleep.
Yeah. It's hard to keep track of time here.
Well, it is about, I think because you guys were foiling this, I think this is probably about 3 bells past midnight right now.
Oh, let's go to bed.
I like that idea.
Gather up the weapons so they don't fall into the hands of people who do bad things with them.
Good call.
And
Good call.
we can
Funnel all the crossbow bolts over here. I realize I'm
there's
deficient
10
in my ranged abilities.
There's 10 crossbow bolts per body minus what they fired, so I think you'd find an average of about 7 or 8 crossbow bolts per body. Let's call it 7, and so 40. You got a total of 42 bolts sitting there.
I think we'll take back the short swords and the extra crossbows to the Church of Helm, add it to the armory in case we need it or we need to borrow some stuff. Little.
Sure.
Bring.
Maybe we can take all that.
Not properly
bury them?
Go ahead.
What? Well, we took their ears. We desecrated their bodies already.
I feel some shame in this. They may have been enemy combatants, but imagine, if you would, being on the other side, being on against some goblins. The goblins slew you, they desecrated your body, and then left it to rot in the open air. How would this make those who care for you feel?
I mean, I see your point. I pick one up and put it in the barrel. Maybe we can grab the other ones, put them in barrels.
If even there is no open land to simply bury the bodies, but if perhaps we cremated them, this may show some sign of respect.
Real quick, guys, high or low? High. Okay. As you guys are standing there over the bodies, a patrol of guardsmen does come by. Who goes?
You guys are late.
Yes.
The Saviors of Cauldron.
Members of the Brute Squad.
Of the what?
People helping the town.
They haven't heard of us.
Oh.
They will.
The captain mentioned that there might be adventurers out tonight. How goes it? Have there been any disturb? Oh, hello. You see a party of about 6 guardsmen emerge from the fog. One of them, the one speaking to you, is the one in the front. Appears to be the ranking officer, and he carries a torch. And he looks around. And he says, "Oh wow, you got the little buggers. Nice work."
There is at least one still.
Your powers have.
I was just saying, there's still at least one out and about, but yes, good. You have noticed. Yes, there should be 7 dead enemy combatants. We were discussing how to properly dispose of our foes' remains.
Well, good work, and I'll let Franklin and Tordek back here handle disposal. Gentlemen, get on that. Don't worry about that. You guys. So, did any get away?
At least one.
At least one. Okay. Well, good work. Oh, you already got the ears. Damn it. Okay. Well, we'll clean this up here. You guys go home, go to bed. It's fine.
Franklin, Tordek, are you familiar with the cultural burial customs of goblins?
They kind of look at each other, stopped and stunned by the question. It's like, well, the Tordek, the shorter one, barrel-chested dude, big beard, but he's about like, he's built like a tank, but like a 5'6" tank, He'd almost be dwarven, except for the fact that he's about a foot taller than the average dwarf. Well, I don't know about what kind of burial customs the greenskins have, but I know that what we do is we, take them down to the incinerator and cremate them.
Officer, do you feel like it is most appropriate to give 2 men who are unqualified for this job such a task?
They're disposing bodies of enemy combatants.
Yes.
That I think they're perfectly qualified to do that, and that's I don't know what goblin burial rites are, but this is what the burial rites are for anyone who is who dies here in Cauldron that is unidentified and unclaimed.
I see. You have then waited the customary time to allow the bodies to be claimed then?
Well, if any of their friends try to come and claim them, they'll probably wind up just like them. Right? Am I right?
Are you?
Well, I'd like to think so. There's a bounty on goblins right now. They're not welcome in this city.
Not all goblins. We spoke with the captain. He made it perfectly clear that goblins who do not engage in nefarious acts are perfectly welcome.
Yeah, but all goblins are nefarious.
No, but these ones were, and they hurt us a lot. So I was going to set them on fire, Seneca. If they're going to take them to incinerator, that's basically the same thing.
Are there other rights
Birch,
that you're aware of, Seneca?
I
Are there other rights?
am not. Merely that each culture has its own rights, and we ought to respect those.
Hey, Terrafirith, when you learned their language, did you see anything about their customs, their ways?
Well, let me get an intelligence check on that.
That's a good question. Let me think about it. Apparently, I did find out.
Oh shoot!
Oh god, you're making me improvise goblin burial rites on the fly.
She straight up presided over funerals for goblins. She might have wrote the book.
She learned by translating the book of their burial rites.
All Goblins Die by Terrafirith. She wrote the
Wow,
book.
if that's not justification for anything going on here, I don't know what is. All right.
I rolled a 17 on a religion check to see if I have any inkling.
A 17 on a
of,
religion check. All right, give me
for burial rites of these of goblins or those known as greenskins.
Yeah, all right, let me tell you. Okay, you know what? Talk amongst yourselves while I do a really quick improvising and bullshit job here as I and quickly Wikipedia Maglubius.
You could literally say they like to be caught on fire, you know.
Yeah,
no. Damn it! If you're guys if you're doing this to me, then I'm doing it right. All right, that's all I'm saying. All right, if you guys are gonna make me do this, I'm doing it right.
They like to be tanned and turned into armor for their fellow goblin
Buy
kind.
my new book.
That took a turn, yeah.
Oh, they straight up do taxidermy, dude.
Yeah. So what? Yeah. So what's the? Yeah. What are we gonna do if there's some sort of really dark stuff that all of a sudden we as the people who are trying to make things better are walking around with tan skins and shrunken heads or something?
Then the next episode you just be like, yeah, I appreciate that they respect our burial customs. As we're like swinging around there.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
heads
interesting.
as like maces or something.
I'm gonna have to file that away for later. Blood sacrifices. All right.
Does Seneca have like a Tabashi savior complex or something?
Yeah, look, I try to do the right thing as well, but these guys were very bad and very mean.
So Seneca comes from the Tabashi, and the Tabashi, the only reason why they're here at all is because they were imported as slaves, and the ones that escaped out into the jungles near Chult live in a free society, and he was born into those folk, and so he's never personally experienced slavery. He's only witnessed it first through stories, and then later when he moved over into the eastern lands where the slavery is still going on, he attempted to lead a slave revolt and failed really badly, because all those people who are like, yeah, at level 1 I did lots of great things, and it was like, he at level 1 failed. He was not good at this. And so to answer your question, yes.
Amazing. Okay.
It's between the like his culture culture was basically eradicated, and he feels personally responsible for the preservation of other people's culture.
Well, you know what? Because of the wonders of the internet, I have
The
found
more you know.
I have found a couple of wondrous bits of information about. Oh, hold on a sec.
He feels personally responsible.
Amazing. Okay, so right now our video is frozen. First off, so apologies, folks. We are now on complete radio mode at this point. I wonder if changing the changing this will help. Nope, not really. Well, it looks like what I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to have to restart things here real quick. So I'm going to stop and restart and hopefully get everything back. But because of the wonders of the internet, I have found a message board where folks discuss goblin burial rites. So if you guys want this information, I'm going to drop it on you.
It's go time.
All right. Well, we're gonna be right back. I'm gonna reboot everything real fast and hopefully get everything back up and running. And I'm gonna get the stream going again, and then we'll talk how to bury a goblin. Be right back. I believe that we are live again. Looks like we are live again. Thank you all for your patience. Sorry for the inconvenience. I'm gonna wind up re-splicing this episode together on. It looks like we're not quite on Mastermind yet. Come on, Mastermind. And oh yeah, we're not live on Twitch, but we're live on everything else right now. So give it a couple of seconds.
Gotcha.
Oh, they might reject this. I think I'm still. Oh no, we're on. Awesome. We are on everything. I've got green across the board. We are good to go.
Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty. So. And you know what, just for giggles, let me get back up into screen share, OBS, go live. Awesome. All right, and we are live in, we're live in Discord again. Cool. So, feeling good, feeling happy. I think we're back up and good to go at this point. So, Tara, you rolled a 23 on your intelligence check regarding goblin burial rites. What would you like to share?
Oh, wow. This makes me an expert. Seneca, you need not fear. Goblin funeral is often a chance to solve some food problems, if you know what I mean.
I knew they were cannibals.
Otherwise, they might also, they practice, since it's at funerals and after something else has killed the goblin, I would call that ritual cannibalism. Inhumation, is that the thing?
I believe so.
And cremation at times, and chuck it at the monster at times. So I think the most respectful thing would probably be to allow these good guards to continue in their work, as it's probably more respectful than a goblin funeral would be.
Should we take a few bites first? How respectful do we want to be here?
I don't think they taste like chicken.
I don't think they do either.
Yes, as I recall, I was thinking back on how some goblins tend to do this. They also tend to throw the corpses of their comrades into the caves of nearby monsters, thinking that will in some way prevent those monsters from coming and eating them. However, that has sometimes become a problem where the monsters develop a taste for goblin, which, as I recall, some shamans sometimes try to give goblins a potion that will make them more foul tasting, as a bit of a kind of almost like an anti-hunter's musk of trying to keep themselves from being eaten. So I would have to concur with Tierfirth. I think having them consumed by the fires of the monster that slew them, that being the city, seems to be in line with their burial habits.
And of
There you
course,
have
the goblins tend to use their dead in whatever way seems convenient, sometimes as decoys, sometimes as warnings. So I
Let
would
nothing,
worry.
let nothing go to waste.
Given the
Exactly.
information that you have provided, it seems logical that allowing them to cremate the bodies would be in the best interest. The cannibalism aspect, the ritual cannibalism, is something that might be shared with a family. We do not know them, and therefore we should not let them become part of us, as their families would become one with them.
Yes.
I
We
feel
still
like
have-
Murd had one purpose in his life, and we're intimately acquainted with that at this point.
So, can I?
The image of his art will be embedded in my mind forever.
Yes. I look to the guards and say, yes, with the exception of Murd, which we are going to take him to one of the other temples tomorrow to try to find some more information. Yes, these other 6 corpses, if you would be so kind, we appreciate your service.
Right. Okay. Yeah, we'll clean these up. All right. And they start picking up the bodies. They go, wait, which one's Murd? You said it's got a name.
We have Murd in a barrel, right, Birch? He's packed up, ready to go.
Yeah, we can just kind of roll him on out of here.
Roll out the barrel. All right. Yeah. So you take the barrel with the goblin body, poor Murd, and
We find some hay and stuff it in there so it's not thudum.
yes, you do manage to find that.
Like having a shoe in your washing machine.
Oh God. Like a shoe in a washing machine. What the hell?
Or a dryer. Just a dump. Hey, you know.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Valid. All right. Yeah. So you do manage to secure him away. Where is it that you head now?
To bed, right? It's like 3 in the morning.
Are we still welcome at the Church of Helm to sleep?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have a place here otherwise.
I welcome everyone if they want to come with me to the Church of Helm.
At this point, both Brick and Lorenzo say that they'll see you in the morning and retire to their quarters.
Together? That's interesting, canon, when they're not here.
Oh, I thought Brick just went shopping after the assassin.
Hey, you know, when Matt wasn't here, I had him sell all your souls to a demon. So who the hell can I? Who says I can't have yaoi going on with the brutes, with the rest of the brutes? This is what you get for missing sessions. Don't miss sessions, y'all.
Miss. I don't
and
care.
I mean,
if it's your
Katha and
birthday.
Wookiee, I just wrote out completely. So, but they're not. I should.
Katha missed a session, and now she's in a love triangle.
With 2 bisexual half elves, yes. So, and you wonder why you haven't seen her lately. I'm just, like she's having a good time.
She's in love with one full elf.
Mm-hmm. I have so many puns, but it's International
2
Women's
elves,
Day, so
1
I'm going to be
dwarf.
respectful. All right, that's all I'm saying. It's International Women's Day. I'm going to be respectful, and you know what? Game on, Katha. Game on. You get you some, girl. No.
Does Katha have an OnlyFans?
I mean, at this rate, she could be racking it in. And with that, all the taxes they'll find in this city, they'll find a way to tax that quick. Yeah.
Those taxes don't pay for themselves,
right? When COVID comes to Cauldron, and you gotta pay the taxes somehow. Anyhow, next morning, you guys get up, breakfast around the giant wooden table in the center of the church kitchen. Lorenzo and Brick are both curiously absent. When you ask, you hear that they each woke up at different points, but early, and they headed off in their own directions. They both mentioned that they would be back in time, probably for patrol that night. Probably. Feld, you do know that you have a suspicion that Brick is off to meet with his friend from the docks regarding some personal business, and nobody really knows what the hell Lorenzo's up to. But we'll let him figure that out for himself.
Don't forget to reset abilities and stuff for a long rest.
Yep. And actually, Gray Soul, you have a restful night's sleep, kind of. I'm assuming if you sleep.
Yes. I would like to try to sleep.
You actually have a night where the nightmares don't come, and you wake up feeling oddly refreshed somehow. Like, yeah, very strange. But,
it's a nice change of pace.
It is a weird feeling. So Brother Rufus is serving pancakes and bacon. He serves extra bacon to Gray Soul. Says, I don't know, just a little voice tells me that you would enjoy that.
Several tell me that too. Thank you.
He kind of looks at you funny and he's like, all right, whatever. What would y'all like to do? Oh, and you do have a goblin body in a barrel somewhere in the church.
We should probably take it to where we're gonna take it. To where we're gonna take it.
It didn't get mixed in with the holy water barrels, did it? That would be a weird service.
Has Earl already been taken by one of the individuals to be fitted for his barding, or do I need to send somebody to take him down with?
That is an excellent question. Let's see. High or low?
Low.
He was taken yesterday and has been fitted, and the process is current, and the armor is currently in process. But the good news is that today your armor should be ready.
Weren't we supposed to meet with the Lord Mayor? Sorry.
No. So the fee was $150. The Lord Mayor was going to call upon us when the Lord Mayor was ready.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what they said. To clear our schedule once when the Lord Mayor contacted us, but that it was a don't contact him, he'll contact you.
Gotcha.
As I recall. Is that accurate?
I can't remember, to be honest. So you know what? We're going to say that that's the case. But you do. We'll deal with that in a second, because I think I'm figuring out where I'll slot that in. Yeah. So Feld, you obviously want to go pick up your armor. Birch, do you have any business that you would like to take care of today?
Yeah, I want to go to the government building where we were before with the taxes and all that. I assume that's where you would go to talk about land and buildings within the town.
Sure. Okay, we can get to that in a minute. Tara, do you have any business that you would like to conduct in the city at the moment?
Not especially. So I can follow someone if anyone needs help with anything.
Cool. Riding shotgun. Copy that. Seneca.
I have access to the Blue Crater Academy archives, including their spell books. Is that correct?
Yes.
I would like to add the. I would like to take the time to scribe Dark Vision, the spell, into my spell book.
Okay.
We failed to track the goblin previously, and Seneca feels that it may be of use to be able to gift one of our more athletically inclined compatriots with the ability to see like I can.
Got it. Cool. All right, and then let me see. Graysol, what would you like to do today? Do you want to go to the academy and
I do. I want to see if Seneca will let me tag along into the library to do some research of my own.
Alrighty. So Tara, you can go to the blacksmith, you can go to town hall, or you can go to the Blue Crater Academy. Those seem to be the three scenes happening.
Well, if there's anything I like, it's bureaucracy. I'll follow Birch to the town hall.
You've chosen wisely. I'm up to some real shenanigans.
All right, so hold on a second.
Level up that bureaucramancy.
Bureaucramancy. All right, got it. And knowing the difficulty of, well, we'll get to that in a second. So let's go ahead and start with Feld. Feld, you once again go around to the blacksmith shop, Gerzenarn's smithy, and once again, Gerzenar, you just hear that rhythmic ding, ding, ding. You know, the song of the forge, as you come strolling up on a lovely, lovely day. Well, hello there, sir.
Hello, sir. I've come to check on my armor. Did I have the time correct?
You did, as a matter of fact. We finished it up last night. Should be cooled and set now. Would you like to try it on?
I would love to.
Excellent. So, boy, fetch the good sir's armor. And out comes the young gentleman who measured you earlier. Oh, this stuff's really heavy. Okay, but you know he helps you get into the proper barding and everything ahead of time, the long coat and all the other stuff, and then they start strapping you in. And whereas this armor was not built for comfort originally, I mean it's built for protection. Hobgoblin armor in particular is not built for comfort. You know, you almost feel like that they build it with lots of jabby points, just. And huge tracts of land, obviously, as I'm doing these hand gestures here. But they have these jabby points that that are designed to inflict pain to keep the warriors angry. You know, that's what it feels like. But all those sharper points are gone, and it just sits better. You know, the ridge of your tail isn't getting cut into by the edge of the armor. There's it feels just more like. You feel like you move better in it, and yeah, while it could be a little snug in some places, I mean it's pretty solid. You're content with it, and as you look, you do see the shoulder mount for a torch, and you do have you do feel the carabiner, the clip ring on the
shoulder
back.
mounts, the carabiner clip.
Yep.
All of that.
Yeah, you're feeling pretty tricked out. Oh, we lost Tara. Damn it.
She's been popping in and out a little bit.
Yeah, I think maybe next week we'll try just going back to Zoom. I mean, I like this layout, but if this is causing so many problems, then it'd be easier to do Zoom. Anyway, so neither here nor there. We'll deal with that in a minute. Yeah, but you guys, all right, but he did good work. This feels like, yours. Oh, and they also cleaned it and polished it. Like, it's really tough to get, I can't even begin to tell you how hard it is to get all that grime and grit and build up off of hobgoblin armor. But, managed to clean it up pretty good, get it nice and polished, and even got some of the dings out, too. So you walk out into the sunlight, bam, everybody's going to know where you're from. So.
Thank you. I look forward to doing more business with you. I hope the tip was acceptable. I'm new to this town. Have you been compensated as is appropriate? Forgive me for asking.
I would say that this was a fair market rate, yes, sir. So thank you very much, and for the generous addendum. And you honor me with your presence and with your gift. So you are welcome back here anytime, and it would be my pleasure and honor to service you in the future, service your equipment in the future.
And I know that one of the acolytes from the Church of Helm brought the war donkey.
Oh, Earl. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my boy.
But
loves
I
Earl.
believe I still owe you payment for that. What was the total amount?
Oh, I think we said 150 for that, simply because of the.
Excellent.
Yeah, and your other friend came by and picked up his armor this morning, by the way. So he's already squared away.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So I give him the gold, and I will deduct that now.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank him, and The last question I have is, I was looking for a good bakery to send some either cupcakes or sweetbreads to the kids of the orphanage. Is there one that you generally recommend?
Bakery. Damn it, Paul, you got to do this to me.
Oh no, I mean, you can just say
No,
the one around. You don't have to name it. I'm just saying if he has one.
Well, but the thing is that there are lots of buildings and industries in here that are actually very plot connected. So if I have the opportunity to introduce them now, then it just makes the world richer. But there are no bakeries that seem to be. There are no bakeries that are labeled on the map. So I'm going to rule that there is the Sunshine Happy Bakery that is located very close to the Lord Mayor's Manor over on High Sword Street. You just follow the he says just follow the smell. You can't miss it.
And I ask, is there a particular favorite pastry that you and your apprentice enjoy from there? I would love to have one sent over.
I'm a common man, so I enjoy me just a good piece of bread. But the boy here, he does like some cookies. So if they've got anything fresh, I'm sure he'd be appreciative. Thank you.
All right. Have a good day, sir.
You too. May Helm preserve you.
And you as well.
All right. So you head off to the bakery. In the meantime, let's talk town hall. If we can get Tara back. Let me see if she's hiding. Tara! Oh God.
Hey,
there she is. You heard us talking shit.
No, I had to switch to the phone because it kept.
Well, you came right back as we were like, all right, let's go to town hall. Oh wait, you are not in the stream though. Oh, because you got a new window. Hold on. Oh Lord, this is why Matt Mercer and all the professional streamers have a whole team of people that handle this crap. So this way you could just run the game. Here we go.
Get to work.
Oh Lord.
All I can say is Wi-Fi is a disappointment.
Yeah, I hear you. No, I made sure that my internet was cabled tonight, and I still had issues. All right, so you guys head up to the town hall by the north gate. You are over there, and oh, perfect. As you are heading up, you see on the bulletin board out front, you do see the member of the Treasury that you spoke with a couple of days ago, posting a new proclamation on the front board. Oh, good day. Here, these are notices that are going to be passed around. But if you're here, I may as well give them to you now. These are public record, matters of public record.
You're handing this to me?
I'm handing this to Tara and to Birch. Yes.
I don't live here. What's it say?
Well, you are existing in this city, correct? Actually, this one does. If you don't live in this city, if you are not a citizen of the city, this one actually does apply to you.
Oh no.
Yes. Yes, you both appear to be transient and venturing types. Is that correct?
Transient. I've only been a couple places.
I would say, okay, maybe transient.
Well, it is part of the burden of your industry to travel from location to location. So you should be made aware. I'm trying to do you a service here. We are trying to help you be aware of the taxes that are now going into effect as tolls at the gate. So yes, these are new taxes going into effect immediately. As I shall let you, as you can see for yourself, I shall read this for you though. Because I understand, sir, that you being a man of the woods may not be as familiar with our written.
Yes, please, read it to me. That sounds great.
Yes. Well, truly, we who care for the weighty concerns of royal finance appreciate the opportunity to convey the world at large somewhat of our views of things. Alas, it falls upon me and my very inadequate staff, such as myself. This is the voice of my boss, by the way, Her Excellency Terry Stanhort, Chancellor of the Exchequer, serving Lord Mayor Severin Avalant of Cauldron. Alas, it falls upon me and my inadequate staff to garner the treasure that all the Lord's Mayor's other men compete to spend. Since we are vastly outnumbered by the scatterers of His Majesty's store, we must compensate by being vastly more inventive than they, finding novel ways to gather it in. In other words, we have to increase the income to match the output, because otherwise we're going to run out of money, and that's bad.
Create a deficit.
We don't like running on a deficit economy here. So what is the new tax for this moon? We have the tolls collected at booths on certain bridges and roads. How much is the toll? It's a mere trifle, hardly enough to pay for the upkeep. A person on foot pays 1 copper, as does a beast or cart, while a coach or chariot pays 2 copper. Yet it all adds up. A strong sword and full money bag, these maketh the kingdom prosper.
Makes sense. If you were charging the goblins that were invading your city this, you'd have quite a bit of copper.
Well, if anyone could track them down, I'll be happy to present them with a.
We
are
killed
they citizens?
7 last night.
You what? I'm sorry, what?
Anyway,
did we bring the ears?
Oh, that's not her matter. That's for the captain. And
Ears?
no, I don't walk around with goblin ears. That's a weird thing to ask. What a crazy thing to ask. I don't know where she comes up with these things.
Well, very well. But just so you know, the toll is increased at each of the roads, the bridges, and the gates in and out of the city.
Sure.
So just be aware.
Hey, you got to make money to
be able to spend it.
money.
That's correct. Yes. Yep. We do not run a deficit in the city.
I have a question for you, or maybe not for you. Who would I speak to about property ownership?
Well, that would be the registrar, the town registrar.
The registrar.
Sure.
Okay. Is that inside?
Yes. Second office down on the left.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do I owe you copper? I entered town like a week ago.
Well, no. But when you leave, you will pay, and when you re-enter, you will pay.
Got it.
Because you are not a citizen here, is that correct?
I'm not.
Okay. Therefore, then you will be subject to the toll. Yeah. Very well.
Okay.
Well, bright suns and clear travels.
I like that. Bright suns and clear travels. I like that. Thank you. Before we enter, I take out a feather and I cast Eagle's Splendor on myself, which is a form of enhanceability, to give me advantage on charisma checks in case I am trying to persuade or charm somebody.
A smart man. Okay.
And I looked at Tara and I go, I've never tried to buy almost anything, so I just thought this would help. You'll see. Come on in. You like an adventure, right?
Sure.
Let's find the registrar, I guess.
Okay. So, yeah, you go in and manage on charisma checks. Copy that.
For an hour.
All right. Yeah, no problem. So you go in and you look. You actually take on even just a more regal appearance. People don't seem to mind the musky, natural smell that you emit, being a man of nature.
How dare you?
Dude, you slaughtered goblins last night. Come on. You're probably
I might have faced. It's hard to say.
Yeah, well, in the blood of your foes. All right, so you go in, and there is a door off to.
Funny, because I haven't killed anybody. Go ahead.
That's actually correct.
Probably.
You go in, and off to the left there is a door that is labeled, city planning. Second on the left. Come in.
Okay, let's go.
Come in. Is that my lunch? Is that my lunch?
No.
There's an elderly gentleman, long white beard, human, looks older than Methuselah, sitting behind a desk. Yes. How can I help? How can I help you?
I'm sorry if we interrupted your lunch.
Well, it's not here yet, so you're not interrupting it. It's fine. But they're
right.
late. Lunch is
sorry
always
to
late,
hear
right?
that. We're new to town. I'm new to town. Are you new to town, Tara? I should have been. Are you
Fairly new.
Fairly new.
Oh,
We're
wonderful.
both fairly new to town, and we've been helping out your guardsmen and scouting the city out. And I've noticed you have an abandoned property.
Which property?
There's a tavern,
Mm-hmm.
and it's empty. It's abandoned. Looks like no one's been there in years.
Okay.
Is that the only abandoned available property in town?
Well, can I ask what your interest is?
Well, the one thing this town is lacking is 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 things that grow, trees, fruit, veggies. You have nothing of growth in this town. And my thought, since I am here temporarily, is to own land, or I guess more adequately rock, and create a space, a community space where people can get food.
Well, we do actually have some, like a garden of what you're speaking with, or speaking about. There are some small gardens. There's actually a few of them down by the lakefront.
Where?
Oh, northeast corner of the lake.
Northeast corner of the lake. Are you telling me there's...
Take a look at the map right here.
Mm-hmm. You're telling me that my plan to bring a little bit of goodness to this town is totally unnecessary? Is that what you're telling me?
Not at all. If you would like to bring more goodness to this town, the town always welcomes goodness.
I mean, I could just renovate the bar and just bring liquor to your town. That's also a fun...
We've already got
pursuit.
4 bars in this town. You are speaking of the Brass Trumpet, correct? Is that the tavern that you're referring to? The one that's not currently in service?
That's great. Yeah, sure.
Well, the Brass Trumpet is actually privately owned still, and all of their deeds and taxes are current and paid, so they're able to do whatever they want with that building.
What a bummer. So that group of trees there, what's
Yes.
going on there? Is it a farm?
It's a grove.
It's a grove.
And some of the more druidic in tradition within the city that like to come here do enjoy visiting there. They find it to be quite the calming space.
So you're telling me I've been here like a week, and there is a part of town that druids like to hang out with, and I haven't even been there.
Well, I'm glad I could be of service. You know, and there's also a lovely set of lovely trees located next to the Church of Helm. Nice. It's a much smaller grove, not consecrated, and of course, by the Lord Mayor's manor, there he has a private forest, a very tiny private forest, but a private forest that he likes to walk through. But that's the Lord Mayor, you know. If you don't tell him I said that. Yes.
He's fine.
Just for curiosity, could you tell us who currently owns the Brass Trumpet? Since
I am not at liberty to disclose the owners of property in this town. There are laws that guarantee the privacy of ownership.
I did want to own something, Tara. I've never had money before.
Well, if you're interested in purchasing property, I could tell you that the that closer down to the center, towards the center of the city, that is the far less expensive real estate than the outer rim.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because it floods?
Yes, potentially.
Gotcha.
because of the sea monster.
Oh, and
Is
of course
there a
because
sea
of Bessie. Yes, that's correct. I mean, the sailors all like to talk about Bessie, but I've never seen or heard anything that has confirmed that for me.
Okay. All right. Well, you've temporarily quelled my desires to do anything of interest. Congrats to you.
Oh, but you said you would be interested in having a greenery area. Is that correct? Are you looking to purchase some property in the city?
That was a thought I had, yeah.
Well, I think we can definitely assist. You know what? Let me take a look. I have to do some research, but come back in a day or two. Let me do some research on some current deeds. And if I could find a nice piece of property that is currently available to the public, I will get you a quote on it. How about that, son?
That'd be good. Can you give me a range of what you think that quote might be?
He gives you a quote between X and Y.
Thanks. That's very helpful. I have an amount of money that's around X and Y. We can work it out.
I think we could work something out. Like,
All right.
but yes, come back in a day or two. Let me do some research on the current deeds and permits and see what the status is on a couple of locations. We may actually have some. Oh, what do they call them? Well, we've had a recent passing, and I need to see what the status is on a certain parcel of land that might be, or a certain piece of property that might become available very shortly. If there's no family left to claim it, the clock is running out on that one, and it was going to go to auction, but doesn't necessarily have to hit the market. It doesn't look like too many people are interested.
Okay.
So
thank you. So come back in a couple days.
Give me about 2 days, and let me do some research for you. But I think we could arrange something. How about that?
All right. Tara, did you have any questions?
No, I don't think so.
All right. I've got another plan that maybe we could do, Tara, while the others are about. Thank you, sir, for your help.
Oh, my pleasure. And what was your name, sir? So I can make a notation here as I consume my sandwich if it ever gets here.
Birch, like the tree, like the wood.
Like the tree. Well, my name is Malik.
Malik.
That's correct.
Got it.
So please come by and ask for Malik, Old Man Malik. They always call me Old Man Malik because of the beard. If you couldn't already tell, it's the beard, the big long white beard. I'm not as old as people think I am, but you know.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Do you think I would look older if I grew one?
Oh, I think so, absolutely. But you know, you look to be about what, 30, 40?
Oh no, maybe I look too old already.
Then maybe stay away from the beard.
I'm outdoors a lot. The sun does damage.
So I've heard. But you know, I get up early, I go to work early, I stay here late. If I ever see the sun, it's a miracle. You know. Alrighty. Apparently, I will have to venture outside to get my lunch.
Check some. I thought you were going to say something to help me check out deeds, but no, to get your lunch. You're very focused. Good luck with that.
Good day, sir. Alrighty. And then to the Blue Crater Academy. As you entered the hallowed halls of academia, you do actually run across, the Professor Rhaegon, and he nods in acknowledgement of both of you as you come in.
Professor, this is my compatriot, Greysoul.
Yes, we've met.
A few times.
Yes. Have you managed to get back down into Jzadirune?
No, we've my group's been consumed with a couple of other responsibilities. We've had to kind of veer from trying to get back down there.
Okay. Well, please let us know, because we've been trying to talk to the city, and it seems like that they're not allowing anybody down there right now, but we would definitely like to be able to help your friend heal his condition.
Of course.
Professor, it is precisely for this reason that we have returned. You see, my compatriots and I are attempting to perform some services for the city, get on their good side in order to enable the brutes to return to Jzadirune. And in order to do so, we need some additional spells that may make us more efficacious. Might you be able to assist in this regard?
Perhaps. What kind of spells are you looking for?
The ability to imbue one who cannot with the ability to see as I do in the dark, with dark vision.
Dark vision, right. Dark vision, okay. Alrighty then, let me think about this for a second. That is not my school of spells. That is the fellows that study transmutation. That is much more their bag, as it were. But you know, I do know for a fact that it is within the library. If you wish to go and you know, copy a scroll or perhaps copy it into your book.
Oh yes, certainly. And can I acquire the components necessary to do so from the stores here at the Blue Crater Academy?
Consumable ones. I mean, if you have a foci, if you're lacking a foci, that is something that we could provide a loaner. But as you know, consumables, especially ones such as dark vision has a very expensive material component to it, and that is not something that you can. You might be able to get a. Oh, wait a moment. It depends on how you want to do it, because you can either do it with an agate worth at least 50 gold pieces, or I know that some of the grungier, more hippie-ish casters among us would like to use dried carrots. Apparently, they can make that work. But typically, those of us who are civilized casters, we cast it with agates and find excellent results.
I see. I will be sure to speak to. What was the name of the professor whose bag you said this is?
The transmutation professors. That is.
Yes. I'm so sorry.
What I need to do is I just need to come up with an org chart for every organization in this freaking city. I also have to go back and watch all these to remember who I've already used and set up. Let's go with this. That's Professor Gimbic Reinbach.
Yes.
Can't miss him. He's about 2 feet tall.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Professor. If you don't mind, I would like to bring Graysoul. We are performing some research that will, of course, ultimately benefit the Blue Crater Academy.
So you wish to have access to the library?
Yes, if that's all right.
Your tuition is current. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you're able to bring a guest in, so I don't see any problems here.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Of course.
Was this the college member that liked to transmute people into chamber pots?
Yes.
Yes, okay. I had, before we go to the library, just a quick question. Does your spell work on deceased subjects?
The dark vision spell?
The chamber pot spell.
Well, I suppose a body at rest, at eternal rest, would be considered an object more than a person. It'd be more of a transmute than a polymorph, but perhaps. Why?
Just thinking it might be a good send-off for an old friend of the city. I'll come find you should something come of it. Thank you for directing us to the library. Seneca, let's go.
Oh, Professor.
Out of game. What the hell was
I'm trying to think of a good way to send Murd off. And
what
would be better for
I
our
was like, wait, who are you talking about here?
obsessed goblin than to become a chamber pot?
Oh, that's totally okay. That actually makes sense to me. All right, yeah. I just what the hell are you talking about?
It's
all
touching, really. Yeah.
It really is in a really really weird way. Yeah. Folks in the chat, let me know if you're totally skeeved by that or not.
Or if Graysoul should get inspiration.
Or if he should get inspiration for a fitting goblin funeral. Yeah.
Murd for life for Murd.
Murd, yeah. Damn.
Professor, one more thing. Could you also notify the Professor of Necromancy that I would like to speak with him?
Are you enrolled in necromancy?
Oh, no. I believe that I could use his assistance, again, in this same mission for the city that can ultimately benefit the Blue Crater Academy.
Okay, I get that. And I know that people say that I'm weird, but if they think that I'm weird, then let me tell you right now. Professor Neltarm is rather... he's a personality. He's a personality.
Noted. I will find myself prepared.
Alrighty. Well, good luck, gentlemen. All right.
Thank you. All right, so my plan is to look for this spell and to use their material components to be able to practice out with this. And I bring Grey Soul over into the library. This will take me about 2 hours to copy the spell into my spell book. Using
4 hours actually. It's 2 hours per spell level.
Oh, it's a level 2 spell. Thank you.
Yep. So 2 hours per spell level. And I also think it's 50 gold per level in terms of ink.
Yes, unless I get the spell components, because it's supposed to be for the spell components and the ink, which is why I asked if they will provide that.
Oh, well,
because
the ink...
I don't have 100 GP.
The ink they can give it to you at a student discount. What's your current gold total?
I think I have 19 or something like that. I'm sorry. I have 10. I have a grand total of 10 GP.
He joined us after we did any kind of mission.
Yeah.
I think there was probably a side conversation that Seneca would know if he needs any money for this venture in dark vision and dark vision glasses that Feldruucan will float him.
Yeah, and I can tell you right now that there is a student discount of 20% on spell components, and that includes the ink. So you could get it for 80.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Sir Feld, I would then have talked to you about floating me 70 GP. Thank you.
Not a problem.
Pleasure doing business with you.
I'll just
Welcome to the team.
Make sure you guys log on your character sheets is all I'm saying. So.
Yep.
Yeah, because I will go back and listen to this at 2 times speed and do all the math one day. All right. So so you actually do manage to find in a tome, a really well-read, well-thumbed-through, well-weathered tome of spells. You do find it's like your Encyclopedia Magica. You do find the necessary spell, and you begin your copying process. And it's going to take you a few hours to do this. So with that, Grey Soul, what is it that you would like to do?
I want to start researching the history of my deity to try to figure out who it could be that is interfering with her and me vicariously.
Okay. What are you going to start looking for in the library specifically?
Probably general histories and stories of the various deities. You know, how they came to be, what they do, what they're about, who they've interacted with, enemies, that kind of information.
Got it. All right. Well, I can tell you right now. Let's see. And what are you looking for? And are you looking for Lyra specifically to start with? What search terms would you say that you're using?
Lyra. Maybe enemy of Lyra.
Okay.
Lyra in conflict.
Okay. Let's see. There's that, and then I'm assuming that as you look, you do find. You actually do find a mage sitting in the center of the library. She's kind of sitting at an information, or what would be like an information desk, and she's sitting there. She's very serene. She's an elf. And she spots you starting to wander around. She says, "Can I be of any assistance, sir?"
Yes, please. I'm trying to find information on deities, Lyra specifically.
The deity Lyra. Processing. One moment. Yes, we do have several mentions of her throughout a number of texts. You will find most of them in the area covering religion located in the southeast corner of the library. The second, third, and fourth shelves closest to the wall are all dedicated to the various deities that exert influence on this plane of existence. I would believe that we do have a tome of her church here, a 3rd edition tome of her church. We also have you would also find references to her within documents and scrolls regarding the time of troubles and the Avatar crisis.
And those are all going to be in that same section you just described?
Yes, they are all within the same section, except you can find information on the time of troubles in the Avatar Crisis within the recent history section.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Very good. Please return here if you require any assistance. All right, cool. So give me some investigation checks. Let's do a series of... we're going to do a skill challenge. So I want you to see what you dig up.
Yep.
I need how do you what is the process here, and what skills do you want to use and how to justify it? I need you to have 3 successes before you have 5 failures.
Okay. 3 successes before 5 failures. I think I'll try. I'd probably want to try to use insight to try to discern where I should start my research, whether it is her overall history, or if it's this time of troubles, or the other item that the desk lady mentioned.
Okay, and so we'll start with insight. Let's do that. And what is it specifically that you are looking for? Like, if there was one core concept that you're trying to find out about right now, what would you consider to be a successful piece of information to grab?
Another deity or entity that interferes with her process or followers.
Got it. I need an intelligence check. So we're going to start with a DC 10 intelligence. We're going to then do the insight check. And then I want an investigation check as you start looking for the actual, like going through the actual materials if you pass it successfully. Okay, so let's start there, and then we will do additional checks as necessary.
All right, so, and does my touched in the head affect a regular intelligence check, or is it just skill checks based on intelligence?
I would say that it would not necessarily affect your base intelligence checks. And that insight is wisdom-based, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so you do have... We're going to do the intelligence check first, so let's go ahead and get that. Okay, you do realize that more than likely you're going to have much more success going in and looking at books about Lyra specifically if you want to learn about her faith, her doctrines, and all these other things. But you are aware enough of the recent conflagration between the various deities where power levels were shifted tremendously. This is not long ago. This was in the last 50 years. And that there was basically a war of the gods. So you think that if you do some searches into the time of troubles, you're going to look in there and see if you find any specific information. So your intelligence check, you pass that. Your insight check tells you what documents specifically will help you out the most. So you know what you're looking for. You know where you want to look for it. Let's go on ahead and roll the intelligence check to see if you can find, or the investigation check to see if you can find it. Now this is with disadvantage because this is a intelligence-based skill.
Right.
If anybody in the chat wants to bestow insight, but bestow inspiration, pardon me. You can bestow inspiration on Graysoul right now. It'll nullify his penalty.
You get disadvantage on intelligent-related things?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, cool character you created for yourself, bro.
That was not my ad. That was our DM's ad to the character.
Yeah, but that'll pay off in the future. Trust me. It sucks in the short term, but there's a reason. So
did I beat that by the skin of my one above DC 10, or was it a different DC on that?
Fuck you, Matt. I wanted this to be a challenge, and you went 3 for 3. All right.
Sometimes.
Well, it's all right. It's not combat. It's not where someone can actually die. That's when the
yeah. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a quick 10-minute intermission. I'm gonna research real fast what it is that you find, and when we're back in 10, you'll be able to share some wonderful new insights with the rest of the crew. So we'll be back in 10, folks. Okay. All righty.
Yeah.
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 I'm in. I hear you need a bit of rescuing by someone bolder or stronger. Okay, perhaps you're looking for some monster slaying or some save the day in. We'll wait no longer, cause help's a coming and foes are running, cause they don't stack against blackjack. I'll save the day, send the creeps away, and display my stylish tan, cause the hero's here, oh yeah. It's me, I'll save your kittens from the tallest trees. Really, it's a breeze, not a problem. Get down, I'll wrestle hungry dragons to the ground, or fight any giant or goblin. I'll mop the floor with the demon core. If you've crime in store, watch your back, Jack. I'll save the world and charm all the girls, and forget about Superman, patooey, cause the hero's here, oh yeah. So many people sing my song, and all those people can't be wrong. So rest assured I'd understand if you should swoon or kiss my hand as I go forth to take my stand, to see what Providence has planned, to see what destiny has got in store for me, what fatefulness of fate draws near and or awaits. What was I saying? You're great, I'm great.
He's great, he's the hero all the villains hate.
Cause they know I'm the latest sensation.
Bar none who battle evil till the battle's won.
And I'm fun at formal occasions.
Now helps are coming and thugs are running, cause they don't stack against blackjack.
I'll solve the crime and be back in time to sign some pictures for adoring fans. Cause the hero's here.
Blackjack, I think we're late.
Oh yeah! Always left behind, always stuck on the sidelines, just a guard when things get tough, when things get hard. I'm told to step aside. I guess I understand. I'm just a sidekick, after all. Not very daring, smart, or tall. Nobody who could turn the tide. But what I wouldn't give to be asked to come along, asked to lend a hand, allowed to risk a fall, allowed to take a stand. If they just let me try, they'd see. But I guess there's no point in wondering what I'd do if I were a hero too. There's no point. It's just conjecture. So I won't think about it. I would race through the night, patrolling each city and street, ever diligent, ever vigilant, nothing escaping my view. I'd perform mighty feats, rescuing damsels and battling jerks. It'd be part of a good day's work if I were a hero too. Some might not know my name, but I'd defend them just the same, 'cause it's right and it's good, and the comic books strongly imply that I should. And those who shake in fear will shake no more when I am here. I mean there, I'll figure this out, and when I do, evil had better beware. And that's just the start of all that I'd do if I were a hero too. seemed calm and peaceful, I'd walk among the people of the kingdom, concealed by my secret identity.
Oh, hi, Inky.
Hi there, Mr. Smith. What are you up to today?
Oh, nothing, just tending the garden. You?
Just enjoying a walk, not leading the fight against evil in any way.
Hi, Inky.
Hello, Mrs. Applebaum.
I saw smoke rising from your basement yesterday. You wouldn't happen to be constructing a superphotonic modulatory energy condenser for use in laying siege to villainous fortresses, would you?
No?
Oh, my mistake. Have a nice day, sweetie.
That was close. I'd battle goblin hordes and evil ghouls with evil wards. I would shine, I'd take a stand against litter and cutting in line. I'd keep watch on the skies, knowing that evil never lies. I mean, lies down. It lies all the time, but that's why I'd be around. And when I was fully grown, I'd have a sidekick of my own, and he'd never be left behind, never stuck on the sidelines as a guard. When things get tough, when they get hard, I will keep him close at hand. In a team, side by side, that's exactly what I'll do when I am a hero too. Man, I really need to pee. I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm not afraid of the dark. It may crawl with beasts that growl, things that grunt and fiends that howl, but they're just sounds, and sounds can't leave a mark. I won't be scared of the night, although I could use a small light. I may feel shivers along my spine, but there's no reason to think I won't be fine. No need to worry about cavern-dwelling trolls, or vampires who eat fricassee of souls, or angry ancient dragons who breathe scorching jets of flame, or minotaurs or dinosaurs, or horrors with no name, or human-eating demons who can fly with giant bat wings and who have the heads of lizards and the front teeth of a shark, because I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm not afraid of the dark. It might be quite creepy here, but all true heroes persevere. I can't be spooked by every bump or bark, 'cause they're just sounds, and sounds can't leave a mark. Wow, guys, it's really scary in here. Do you think you could help me out? Do you think you could sing with me? It's really easy. Yeah? Here we go. I'm not afraid of the dark. Good, I'm not afraid of the dark. Awesome, I'm not afraid of the dark. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much, but I think I better take it from here. Wish me luck, here I go. I'm not afraid of the dark. 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 Wow, I think I'm okay now. And the monsters, they didn't even touch me. You know, I think I learned something important. As long as you get where you set out to go, and as long as you do what you need to, as long as you don't put your mission aside and you're still there at the end of the day, then a little fear of darkness, yes, a little fear of darkness, just a little fear of darkness is okay.
And a little fear of darkness, just a little fear of darkness, yes, a little fear of darkness.
Alrighty, folks, and we are back, or most of us are back. Looks like we're missing a Birch and a Seneca, but we'll get them back soon enough. In the meantime, we were dealing with Mr. Greysoul looking in the library at a bunch of stuff. Matter of fact, your insight directed you to, while, you know, you could go and look up the information on Lyra that is available in the here in the library, you decided to look at the more recent current events rated things. And I should mention that the year right now is 1470. And I'm making that official now because we hadn't really actually covered anything that's timeline sensitive. But in 5th edition Forgotten Realms, the year it's somewhere between 1470 and 1495. But this helps you out because as you're looking through all of these tomes, you do find what looks to be a large leather-bound tome from written relatively recently. This book's actually in excellent shape. It is called The Time of Troubles, a chronology, and it is a thick, heavy book. And it is written by Venura. Venura Dane is the name of the person who scribed this.
Does it say how recently it was published? Like last 5-10 years, or?
As you go scrolling through it, you know, in the beginning you do see scribed by the Venura Dane, the bard of the College of Swords of Faerun. Of Waterdeep, Faerun, written 1432.
All right.
And give me a. Let's do a straight. I mean, do you want to just sit? This is a huge book. It's a huge tome. Do you want to just start reading it straight through? Because it'll take days.
No, I want to cut to the parts that reference Lyra. Is there any kind of index or table of contents that might direct me to the right portion of the book?
That is an excellent question. And
if there's not, I have another idea.
Okay. There is not. So what is the other idea?
I'm going to take this book to the lady at the desk and see if she can help me out to whittle down my search vector here.
Very good. So you take this big ass tome, this like Tolkien, Lord of the Rings, gigantic frickin' leather, there and back again. You bring it up to the desk and chunk it down on the table. It's yes, The Time of Troubles, an excellent chronology. This is very detailed and should contain the information that you seek.
Yes, I did note that in this tome there's no contents or index that can help me narrow down the pages I should be going through. I was hoping you might be able to direct me to passages pertaining to Lyra specifically.
An interesting concept. I have never thought of a list containing references. This would take a very long time to compile, but perhaps that could become a standard if it were to be adapted widely. I will have to suggest it at the next College of Librarians industry gathering. Thank you for that notion. Now then, she sits and she's like, I have read this a number of times. Allow me one moment, please. And she starts going through.
I double check the thickness of the tome.
It's big.
Damn.
This is a chronology of the Gods' War, and she basically gives you a thumbnail of it. In the year 1358, the gods walked the earth. The great overgod Eo, dissatisfied at the pantheon's neglect of their human followers, cursed them all, stripped them of their divinity, and caused them to walk the earth. In the ensuing war, many gods were killed permanently within their mortal framework, and those who slew them some were raised into divinity. As I understand here, as it is chronicled, the goddess Lyra was slain by the adventurer Cyric, who absorbed her power and became the god of murder. He wielded the weapon Godsbane, a sword a sword specifically designed to kill gods. Cross-referencing with the New Testament of Lyra as put out by her church. The church maintains that the goddess is alive and well, and that her murder was just another illusion, and that Cyric is in fact her father, that she is the daughter of Cyric. As it is with the Church of Lyra, considering that they are the Church of Deception, no one quite knows what is true.
Okay. Can you suggest any other tomes I might want to look into that would deal with this particular information?
There are other accounts of the God's War and the Avatar Crisis. I do not believe any of them will have... some may have other accounts and information that may be pertaining to this. If you want, Matt, let's do another skill challenge.
Right.
Let's do an insight check. Considering that this is your church, let's do an insight check into your teachings. You think you're right now not knowing what to believe completely clocks based on the 8 that you just rolled, not knowing what to believe from what they're saying completely clocks, and but you also come to realize that maybe it might be time for you to do some deeper study into your church's teachings, as you're not as familiar with them as you'd like to be, because you were brought up as an orphan within their system, and you have been granted divine powers through them. But there are things that you're learning that don't quite add up right now, or clock with what you have personally been taught. So there is that. And then you also think that it might be worth investigating Cyric, Godsbane, and the other aspects of all of this. So
yes, my next question was going to be if I could get a text going over who Cyric is and that whole side of the equation. All right.
Well, what we can do is, because I don't want to tear up the whole, hold up the whole session with this. What I can do is I'm going to compile a whole bunch of resources, and kind of just give you. I'll give you a thumbnail over the whole situation, and I was actually out of game. I was in the middle of prepping a document for you based on what I had actually learned about various sects of Lyra, and how they are basically nothing like what you've been taught. So I was going to work with you to figure out a way to reconcile that. So this will feed into that. But what I want real quick is let's do another skill challenge to find out what you so I can get some numbers as to figure out what you can discover here. So what skills would you like to apply to this research effort?
I'd like to imply insight into which texts I should pay more attention to and which ones I should maybe discard or leave off the platter here.
All right, so we need that. And then let's do... Okay. DC on this one is a little bit higher. So you... The thing is that, yeah, as you're discovering that your goddess is the goddess of deception, and that there are two completely contradictory schools of thought out there, it's really, and the fact that I think you're going to want to do some research into the holy books of Lyra and maybe and find some other documentations on the teaching. So let's do an insight on where to look for, or what resources to look for about Lyra and her traditions. Perfect. Okay, that's a success. That you actually do manage to find the books on her teachings and beliefs, and she says that you can check the book out for a period of up to 2 weeks.
Great. I will certainly make use of that.
Is there anything else we can assist you with?
I think I've got my work cut out for me for now, but I'll be back to return the book, and maybe I'll need to take out another one at that time.
Very well. Good luck with your search.
Thank you. You've been very helpful.
My pleasure. All right. So you have the teachings of Lyra, and was there anything else that you wanted to look at about Cyric or Godsbane or Lyra or the Time of Troubles or the Avatar Wars or anything?
Is there like a picture book that has Godsbane in it? I'd love to see what that thing looks like.
Gotcha. Let me see. Actually, you do.
Because, you know, if you can kill a guy with a weapon, it might be decent killing other things. Have it be a wooden spoon.
Well, I can tell you right now that within the tome on Cyric that you find, because you do find a book on him, it's a history book. It's not a book of teachings or anything like that, but it's actually within the book of the Time of Troubles. You do find. Oh, is there an easy way for me to? I gotta make a document. Hold on a second. I gotta turn this into a handout.
Godsbane is a small, blockish, blue plastic piece with bumps on it, inscribed with the runes Lego. The gods step on it and are unmade from our existence.
Well, I mean, that would be enough to unmake anybody, trust me. I think the only thing worse than stepping on a Lego is stepping on a D4.
Yeah.
There you go. Can you see that?
Yes.
You do find this portrait of Cyric wielding Godsbane. And this is very, very nicely scrolled in this illuminated book.
My first thought is this guy doesn't know how to hold a sword, but okay. Looks like a devious little jerk.
Yeah. Well, we will. I will prep more information that you do discover as you're reading through all this stuff, and we will spread that out over the next couple of weeks. But I don't want to take too much time away from the session right now. Feld, we're going to cut back to you real quick. Give me a perception check.
All right. Let's see.
Oh, and by the way, just for everybody else's edification, anybody watching on the stream here, this is the piece of art that I just shared with with Grey Soul. So you see Cyric wielding the Great Godsbane. Give everybody just a little taste, because I realized that I wasn't on the right screen for that. So, but yes.
Where'd you post it?
I posted it in Roll20. I shared it with him because he hasn't. I shared it with Matt because he's the one looking at the book. So, but if he wants to share it with you guys when you guys all get back together later, that's up to him. So,
I rolled a 14 on my perception.
All right. Cool. You are on your way to the bakery, and from behind you hear a "Hello there, sir." Sir Feldruucan, yes? You kind of stick out in the crowd.
Yep. Do I recognize the voice?
You do not. Actually, give me a wisdom check.
$15.
15. All right. Something about this voice sounds kind of familiar, but kind of not. Maybe actually roll an insight on that. Is that your insight with the +2, or what would be your 14 plus your insight, or a 13 plus your insight?
My insight would be 0, so it'd be 13.
Okay. Yeah. So you get the feeling like there's something about this voice that it's like something about it's familiar, but nothing is clicking right now.
So I would find.
Oh yeah, go on.
I was gonna say I'd find a little bit of if there's a nearby wall, sort of just to have my back near a wall when I turn to see who's there.
Okay, I mean you're walking through the city streets, and I think what you could do is you can turn like and have your back to a building pretty easily. You're walking along the sidewalk, so
yeah.
And you turn, and you find a young woman, redhead, full round face, curvy figure, in leather armor. Let me see. She's about 5 feet tall. She's got this wry smile and she's got these piercing green eyes. She's wearing a black cloak over a finely made suit of studded leather, and she's got a sheathed sword and a coiled whip hanging from her belt. Sir Feldruucan, yes, that's you're the gold one. I think it's who's the other? Rockstone is the black one. What? I'm sorry. What was his name?
Something like that.
Your reputation precedes you, sir.
You are the as I believe yours does as well. I believe you're the one who controls the funny business.
I'm sorry?
No, are you not? Do I not recognize you?
This does this does not look like who are you thinking of?
I've never seen. I don't know if we've gotten reports, but of the last laugh, in terms of the we've gotten any reports on who the woman's name that we were poking around in terms
you're talking
of
about
the head.
you're talking about Jill?
Yes.
I mean, let's see. No, well, you've never seen her. And
No.
You don't have a description.
We don't.
No.
I don't think we did.
So you say that she's in control of the funny business, huh?
Well, wasn't that our understanding of that that Jill is the head of the last laugh?
You don't know where she ranks in there for sure, but I mean, yeah.
Gotcha.
But she looks at you and let me ask you something. Are you bluffing right now, or do you honestly think that that's who she is?
I'm assuming that somebody is, after having asked. I'm bluffing, but I'm assuming that it could quite possibly be her because somebody to roll up in the middle of the street, dressed kind of like somebody who's a roguish figure with that much swagger after sort of the what I assume has been going around in terms of how many hobgoblins, etc. It's a bold move in the middle of the street, I think, and the whip, etc. But yes.
All right. Well, do me a favor. Give me a. Damn it! Bluff is not in 5th edition. Give me a.
Persuasion. I mean,
not so much persuasion because I think give me a deception check.
Okay. Oof. 9.
A 9. Okay, well. 1 second. What did I do with that? I had a notation down here for this.
Or I should rather just instead, with all this, say, and are you Jill?
Well, I like, we're going to go with what you first said. Unless you want to come out and just call her out on that. No. Yeah, the funny business, no. I think that, hold on. Just give me, like, 2 seconds here, please.
Gotcha.
What did I do with that? Got it. Well, you are smarter than you look. I didn't think I'd be seeing you again so soon.
And to what do I owe the honor of your presence on this fine day?
Well, certain forces within the city have been putting an uncomfortable amount of pressure on my on my group with regards to assisting the city in tracking down and exterminating this little problem with the foul greenskins coming around and tagging the buildings. So, I wanted to let you know that we have some information you might find useful. Are you willing to hear it, or are you going to try and strike me down?
Oh, I'm perfectly willing to hear it.
Good. Well, if you're helping the town guard deal with the goblin infestation, I recommend checking out Orak's bathhouse on Lava Avenue. I think that's where they're coming from at night. Orak, the one-eyed dwarf who owns and runs the place, hangs around there at night as well. He's a retired adventurer, though, so I wouldn't underestimate him. Lost his eye to a trap.
And are you saying that he's involved in all this? That he's the one giving them safe passage?
I'm saying that they come out of his shop at night. I don't know anything else about that.
And who's the boy to you?
I'm sorry?
The boy in the orphanage that you've been watching over. The one who seems to have quite a bit of very powerful people interested in his protection.
That's outside the that is outside the confines of what I'm comfortable talking about with you, sir. But maybe you buy me dinner sometime, and I could be persuaded to answer more questions.
That might be arranged.
Put me to the question. Don't threaten me with a good time. Well, until we meet again, Sir Feldruucan.
Until then, Jill.
And she starts to turn and wander off, and the second you say her name again, she just kind of looks over the shoulder and is just like, damn. Like, oh, and tell the captain to consider our debt paid. And before she can elaborate, she disappears into the crowd.
All right.
That was cool. Hey, cut to Tara and I real quick.
I cut to Tara and Birch.
Moments later, Tara, you know this place better than I. Is there a nice restaurant or tavern or something real close to this guy's office?
Hold on, where are we?
Well played, sir.
You guys, you know, I can tell you right now that the Slippery Eel is only like up one ring south. That's right here, but not really good with the food to go. The Tip Tankard, though, is not too much further.
Okay. What do you think? Go ahead.
If you want something a little more upscale, I would go for the Tip Tankard.
Let's do it. Let's hustle over there, grab like some sort of platter and just bring it to him. What do you think? Okay. While we're going, I wanna ask you a question, Tara.
Sure.
You have magical abilities, otherworldly things you can do, right?
Some.
Yeah, I thought so.
Limited.
Where does it come from? Is there a god you worship?
Well, actually, yes. I worship the goddess Jzadirune.
Jzadirune?
Yes. Jzadirune is an elven goddess. Yes.
Okay. What's the symbol look like? Like, is that on your? Do you have a thing, like a talisman, or?
I don't.
I'm just fascinated by this stuff.
Well, the Feldruucan actually is the pantheon of gods. There are many
Oh.
in
Oh.
the elven gods. And the one that I am aligned with is, let me find the name here. Malira Tiralin, the goddess of bards and minstrels.
Oh. Do you pray regularly, or is there a service you have to provide?
I think honestly, my craft is the service that she requires.
Oh, okay. You just got to
Yeah.
make sure you sing and write and perform. And...
Elven gods are not quite as demanding as some of the other gods.
Gotcha. Yeah, mine doesn't make specific requests. A lot of my things come in dreams. I dream at night and I see druids from all over the world, and they do things that I can't. And sometimes I wake up and I can do those things, and sometimes I just go, well, someday that'd be neat. It's just fascinating how it all works. I haven't quite figured it all out yet. But I do know that Sylvanas, who I follow, mostly it's about the expansion of industrial buildings like these into where there could be nature. And so that's kind of what this is about. Anytime I can create nature kind of within the problem, you know? I don't know. Just trying something new.
Everyone has their purpose. And sometimes it's to tell the greatest stories, and sometimes it's to bring a little greenery into the world.
Sometimes it's to buy a sandwich at a bar.
Yeah.
For a registrar with the long beard.
I think he'll definitely prefer the sandwiches at the tip tanker to the slippery eel.
Okay.
So I think that's what we should go for.
Okay, so you guys roll down to the tavern.
I'll
driving.
Okay.
I'll gladly overpay if they can just whip me up something fast that I can run over there.
Cool. So you guys go down there. You kind of get like a decent lunch spread, a couple of sandwich, perhaps a piece of fruit, and a couple of other
some cheer.
Yeah, some cheese, and then you get him like a stein of beer with a lid on it that he can, sip on. So you managed to get all that for about a good 5 silver.
All right, I'll just tip the guy a quick gold.
Cool. All right.
And all right, then we'll run it on back.
All right. It takes you probably about a total of a half an hour, and as you come in, the guy is sitting there and he's looking at this crappy, like 2 pieces of white bread and a single slice of cheese between them. And he's like, oh, you're back. Come on in. Come on in.
I know you're busy, but I got the impression you were hungry, and we were passing by anyway, so we thought you'd want maybe, I don't know, and we gave it to him. No strings attached, just have a nice day. Thanks for your time.
You close the door behind you. He's, thank you. Ham on. Oh. Ooh. Okay. Well, he's very yeah. Make a note that you get advantage next time you speak to him.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I'm just going to say that you get advantage on one roll the next time you speak to him.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Feld, you I'm going to say that you had already gone through the bakery and picked up a bunch of baked goods, and you were on your way to the orphanage. Is that all right? When that encounter happened? Okay. Now, what in light of that encounter, what would you like to do? Is there anything that you want to change course on, or do you want to take your baked goods and deliver them? Or
I'm keeping an eye out for my compatriots. I don't know whether I was gonna because I was gonna see whether the bakery. I didn't know whether the bakery did deliveries or not.
Okay. Well, you know what? they tell you that typically they do the deliveries, but today, unfortunately, the delivery boy is sick with a case of filth fever. He was bitten by a rat and is currently not well.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So if you want, you could either wait for the delivery to happen tomorrow, or you could bring them. You'd be welcome to bring them over yourself.
I'd just get a bunch of extra, basically cookies and sweet buns in case I run across any guards, etc. along the way. Just basically asking if Captain Skellerang is in the is back at the barracks, but still swinging by the blacksmith and the orphanage.
I mean, you get the feeling that Captain Skellerang's probably at his office during daylight hours.
Gotcha.
At the town guard barracks in the headquarters, which is close to the town hall in the North Rim.
Yeah.
So you, but yeah, you have an armload of pastries. In your shiny armor, you have an armload of pastries that you're jauntily carrying with you at this point. So.
And some
great mental image.
And I rolled a 15 perception. I'm just kind of going along, also trying to see whether take a little bit of get a sense of whether I'm being followed at all, or not.
I would say that you actually have a pretty decent sense of what's going on around you now. And while you were kind of taken by surprise by your encounter, since then you don't feel like that you're being tailed by anybody. The message was meant to be delivered quickly, and then, ninja vanish. So
gotcha.
Besides, you stick out in the crowd.
Yeah.
People don't have to follow you to know where you are.
Right.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I think it'd probably be pretty easy to swing by. I got a nice loaf of bread for the armor smith and a couple of cookies for his apprentice, and then I swing by the orphanage.
And by the way, he's the blacksmith is incredibly grateful, and once again thanks you for your kindness and generosity. And Gerzenarn is just bowled over and is like, fresh bread. I can make a warm sandwich now. This is gonna be lovely. And he immediately slops on some crunchy peanut butter and crushed grapes, and it's just like, you got to have it warm, where the peanut butter just starts to run. It's just quite nice. And the son is just enamored with chocolate chip cookies, and it goes right at it. You go to the orphanage, and Patch opens up the door. The one-eyed half orc, and he kind of looks at you like, hello.
Hello, Patch.
Sir Feldruucan, how can I help you?
I brought some cookies and sweets for you and the rest of the staff, and for the children.
Oh, that's very, very generous. I can let Headmistress Gretchen know. Would you like to deliver them personally, or should I
would,
take them for
and I would like to deliver them. And Patch, if ever you need, if you ever think you're going to need a night off, and there's an issue of hiring more security, etc., just let me know, and I will make sure to assist in finding somebody. It seems like there are quite a few people who have taken interest in the children here, and I want to make sure that they're always safe. Everything that happened, I'm not going to say anything about that night, but let's do better.
I think I understand. Okay.
But yes, I would love to see the children.
Very good. You go in, and they are basically, it's middle of the day, middle of the week. They're in class right now, and in school, and they will, it'll be dinner pretty soon. And but allow me to see if the headmistress will allow you to visit for just a moment. He steps inside into the area of the classroom, and inside you can actually hear the sounds of chalk on small boards and books, and Headmistress Gretchen. No passing notes in class. I see that, don't you? You children forget that that I know every trick in the book. I'm old enough to have written them. And Patch approaches her. Oh, excuse me one moment, children. Just keep practicing your handwriting. And she comes out. Oh, Sir Feldruucan, to what do we owe this honor?
I just thought that I would bring by some treats for you and your staff and the children to remind them that even though some of their compatriots were lost, to have a small little momentary celebration, a recognition of gratitude that not only they hear, but that while many view being an orphan as a really negative thing, that they have the opportunity to have such a large family because of their time here and have a small celebration to celebrate each other.
Well, that is incredibly generous of you, Sir Feldruucan. I sincerely appreciate this. We are bowled over by this. I have some lovely news for you as well. One of the children whom you rescued, little Tarim.
Yes.
He's been adopted.
Oh, by whom?
By one of the lords of the city, Lord Vlantru. He's been adopted and is now going to be his heir. I was bowled over myself, but the gentleman approached not even a day after Tarim was rescued and returned to us.
I see. That is, did anyone see his return?
He just appeared on the doorstep. There was a woman, a tall woman whose face was obscured by a veil, who knocked on the door and said to keep an eye on him and take better care of him this time, and then she disappeared. She did not leave a name.
I see.
But and then shortly after, your compatriot, the dwarven woman, and her two elven friends, I believe they were half elf, not elf. It's so.
Yes.
When you aren't tall enough to see the tops of the ears, it's really difficult. Let me tell you. But yes, they showed up with the other three children, and not even a few hours later, it was a miracle.
Well, we were very happy that we were able to rescue them, and we only wish we'd been able to rescue more of the citizens, but we are still looking for them.
We did recently discover that a fifth resident of our orphanage, this is troubling, as she has been a troubling case for us. Someone who comes and goes as her whimsical spirit dictates. Sometimes she stays with us, and sometimes she stays on the street. I fear that she might have I feared she'd fallen in with a bad element, until the children all told us that they saw her. But Waywalkit?
Ah, yes, Wookie.
She did not return. Did you see her?
I did. She is quite capable and quite a fierce defender of younglings. She's.
She is indeed very headstrong.
Yes.
She was determined to go off and rescue them herself. I feared the worst. Rescue the children herself. I feared the worst when she did not return. But you're saying that you last saw her alive and well?
Yes, and to speak true, she was. I don't know if we would have been successful in saving the children without her aid. I believe she is destined for great things, and I would not be surprised if she felt that while welcoming these walls are, that she would feel that she was better serving others if she was outside of these walls, helping those who couldn't help themselves.
Well, she always was one to give me a heart attack, so I'm glad to know that she is at least all right. But if you see her, please tell her to stop by and just say hello and have a spot of tea. I just want to know that she's okay.
I will, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see her before I do. That seems like you don't have a soft spot for those less fortunate unless you recognize how difficult it is. So I wouldn't be surprised if she comes to say hello.
I hope she does soon. But if you see her first, please pass that along. I'd appreciate it.
I will.
Thank you. And thank you for this bounty. I shall let you bestow it upon the children. And then if you don't mind, we must get back to our lessons.
Absolutely. Yes.
children, we're going to take a recess. Come on out here. And the kids all flood out, and there's just like this. They're first off, they're all blown away to see a dragon knight in armor. But then like with treats, dude, you're like the most popular guy in the room by ever. And the three of the remaining children who you did rescue, they immediately see you and they run up and hug you, like without even question. They just immediately just run up and kind of latch on and are just so grateful to see you. And yeah, it's just kind of like one of those moments that you don't really get that often when you're in this industry, where the good guys really did win. Not everything was perfect. Not everything was there were suffering and there were losses as a result of this, but in this moment, you really do feel like the good guys won one. Yep.
So I tell them, I can't keep you for very long because studies are important, but I have brought you these to celebrate not only those who have been taken and are returned, but to celebrate each other, because I know that while you are here in this orphanage, you might feel sad sometimes. I know what that can be like. But remember that all of these people around you can become your brothers and sisters, and that we have a choice in what we do, and great things are possible for you, and it is easy to underestimate your impact on the world. I hope that one day you will, when you become too big for this place, you will seek to be a light out there in the world. And I look forward to seeing you all again. And if you should ever be in need, come and find me at the Church of Helm. Otherwise, I will be by to see you all. But look at each other, give each other a hug, and realize that within these walls you can make a truly special place of a much larger family than you could ever have if you only had one mother and one father.
Well, that's very sweet. Thank you very much, Sir Feldruucan, and we shall let you get about your business and children. We must get back to ours as well.
And I wave them goodbye and head on out.
All right. Cool. Well, let's go on ahead and jump back to Seneca and Graysoul. Do you guys, Seneca? It's been a few hours, and you have managed to finish completing your scribing. Feld, you know that they're at the Blue Crater. But do you want to go? And Birch and Tara, you guys are at Town Hall. You guys are all kind of in the northern end of town at the moment. Or actually, pardon me. Blue Crater is on the south side. What is it you guys want to do at this point? Because I know that Feld, you said you want to talk to the captain. Seneca and Graysoul, was there any other research you guys wanted to do?
I would like to speak to Neltrum.
Oh, the necromancer?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
And I definitely want to tag along and see what that guy's deal is. if Chamber Pot Man is warning us, I'm in.
All right. And Birch and Tara, what do you guys want to
do? We can probably start making our way back to the Church of Helm, I guess. Or I don't know, did we have...
We didn't have a meetup. I was going to say, I was going to head towards the Blue Crater Academy, figuring that research could take a long time, and not knowing what they were doing at the mayor's office, at the where they were going. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So how about this? So you don't want to talk to the captain, Feld?
I want to get everybody else first.
Got it. Okay. And what about the Pulp Fiction like dead goblin in the barrel?
I think that's at. I thought they took that to the Blue Crater Academy.
Does that look like dead goblin storage to you?
Careful with that monologue.
Do they not? Does Seneca? And,
well, no, they did not bring. They did not bring the dead goblin in the barrel down to the academy. Unless you guys did that and you didn't tell me.
I didn't mention I was just dragging him behind me with a leash.
Just
I think we were all going to get to the temple or something.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, that the poor dead goblin Murd is still hanging out in a barrel, in the storeroom at the Church of Helm.
Well, it makes sense then, just to go to the Blue Crater and see if there's an assistance as opposed to rolling a barrel with a barrel of hay and goblin in it down the street.
Ka-thunk, ka-thunk, ka-thunk. Yeah. All right.
Nothing to see here.
Cool. Then how about this? As you guys go, and as Birch and Tara, you guys heading back towards the church. High or low? High, low. All right. I see low for Tara. Paul. High. Okay, Tara. Give me a perception check real quick. Birch 12. Okay. Cool. As you guys are coming out of the town hall, heading back towards the church, you actually do see, you do run across Sir Feldruucan on the streets, and you actually spot him well before you spot him well before he spots you. It's not hard to. He kind of stands out. Birch, you do not notice him yet.
Hey, Birch, it's Feld.
How do you know? There's so many dragons about.
Or you know what I should have said is, hey, Birch, there's a giant shiny gold dragon down the street.
What do you think? Do you think we can make armor out of his hide? Like, should we get it? Like, what do you want to do with it?
All right.
I don't think he'd appreciate it.
Well, this is taking a turn.
Feld!
Okay.
So I turn and I wave, and so I walk towards them.
Mm-hmm.
Phil, did you know there is a part of this town that is like where druids like to hang out, and there's trees and stuff, and no one told me?
Oh yeah, we should go there.
Did not know that.
Check that out.
But, yes, I haven't seen much of the city so far. I was on my way to the Blue Crater Academy to see how our compatriots are doing there, and there is some news that I should share with all of you that it's a little bit strange, but not surprising.
All right.
Yeah. Do you want to pick up your goblin in a barrel?
How far away is the blue? I think we might.
You're in. I mean, the church is in the northeast corner in town. The Blue Crater Academy is in the southwest corner in town. The Church of Kelvamore is the church that deals with the dead, and they are located within. Oh God, where did I put them?
You know, if Earl is ready, we could have him cart the goblin in the barrel. And that way,
the church of Kelvamore is actually not that far. I might add. From the Church of Kelvamore is in the southeast quadrant, on Magma Avenue, where the south entrance to the Blue Crater Academy is located.
Now, I was going to say I could transport it, but it'd be useful to put Earl to use for once.
We could get Earl. I believe there's also some news. I think we know where the. I got some information on where the goblins may be coming out of, as well.
Oh.
So, but yes, let us get Murd, and make way towards the Blue Crater Academy. And once we're all together, we can compare notes on our day,
Cool.
or our afternoon.
All right. So you strap the barrel with the dead goblin and a bunch of hay to the back of Earl the War Donkey. Not in his barding at the moment because he's not going to war. But and you start proceeding your way around the ring road. You do pass the Church of Kelvamore down on Magma Avenue as you make your way to the Blue Crater Academy, and you do get in there, and you do get there. Out the acolytes that are manning the door say, "Sorry, sir, that donkey's gonna have to stay outside. We don't allow animals into the school."
Understood. Is there a stable hand to make sure that nothing? This is a war donkey, and I want to make sure that no one starts a fight with this war donkey because, well, he's a war
They would
donkey.
be in trouble.
All right. If we don't have any sort of well, we do have a tie-off point here over here. You can hitch your. Do have a hitching post. You can hitch your donkey to the post over here, and we'll keep an eye on.
Thank you.
I mean, we're guarding the door, sir. So we'll. Yes. I mean, we're not liable, but we'll keep an eye on it.
I will take it as a grave personal offense if anything happens to. He is a member of the Church of Hell, of the military wing.
Okay.
So, thank you.
All right.
When you say no animals, there's no animals in the academy? None? No one has a familiar or a pet?
Well, but common animals, no. But familiars and transmutations are totally allowed. But...
Oh. So if I were to turn into an animal to carry that barrel inside...
I mean, that would be fine as long as you didn't start destroying things.
Okay.
I think he just doesn't want you to make a mess on the floor.
Oh, I see.
Basically.
Yeah. That's like a whole thing with this academy.
Inside the academy, Seneca Graysoul, you have put in a request and sent a messenger off to find the professor of necromancy. And after about a good 10 to 15 minute wait, you are approached by a large half-orc in robes. He has, as he approaches, you see that his face is actually scarred and one eye is solid red. And one hand is skeletal. Who asks for me?
I'm going to clap Seneca on the back and say, the great Seneca of the Thesauri. I'm going to cast guidance on him to give you a D4 to any ability check you're going to need to make here.
Yes, student.
Professor Nelteram, I'm Seneca Polaris, and I need your help. Are you familiar with the Brute Squad?
No.
You may consider yourself so now. Here is the Brute Squad, or at least several of us. The Blue Crater Academy has made it of the utmost has stressed that it is of the utmost importance that we regain access to the Jzadirune. Unfortunately, the city has not permitted us to do so. However, they have tasked us with accomplishing certain objectives, and we can accomplish those objectives that will allow us to gain their trust and regain access to the Jzadirune if you can assist us.
I'm listening. I still don't hear what you want from me.
It will become clear. Can we reveal Merd?
He's
We
still
don't have
outside.
him with us.
Should we go and get him?
Professor, would you prefer that we show you or that we bring you?
You've got a body for me, don't you?
Yes.
You adventurers are into weird shit.
It's in a barrel.
All right, bring him down to my laboratory.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
He's well preserved.
You guys go down into the catacombs. Actually, not too far from the offshoot where poor Lorenzo wound up getting shocked mostly back into this reality. Inside, it smells of foul decay. Smells of death. as there's different as you walk into his laboratory, there are bodies in different state of decomposition, of all different shapes and sizes. There is a skeleton sweeping the floor, animated, that is, walking about, sweeping the floor. It kind of turns and wields the broom at you, and he puts his hand up, and it goes at ease. Show me what you've got.
We open the barrel and pull out the preserved body of Murd.
A goblin. All right.
Yes.
Animation shall cost 50 gold pieces, 100 gold pieces if you would like control over him to last for more than a fortnight. It would be needed to be renewed monthly. Or are you trying to sell him to me for spare parts? What is it you prefer?
I thank you, sir, but we need neither of these things. We need merely to speak with him.
Well, that's all. Then what do you need me for? This is overkill. Ah! Overkill! Oh, that was terrible even for me. All right.
That's a necromancy joke. I like it.
If you could cast a spell which enables us to speak with the dead.
What I need you to do is make a knowledge arcana check.
Yes.
What I need you to do is study your books closer. Clearly, you're not on the necromancy track.
The arcana. Go. Press the button.
Give me a roll.
Knowledge arcana. Yep, did it work that time?
Yeah, you're having a.
Yeah, it did. All right.
You're having a I'm a dumbass moment. I reanimate dead. I experiment with dead. I use dead things as components. I don't speak to dead. If you want that, you get a cleric, probably of Kelvamore. But speak with dead is not within my domain.
Certain. I see. Are you quite certain? I've known Medwizard who has this ability.
Speak with dead?
Are you, as they
third
say,
level?
Pulling my leg?
The only way I would pull your leg is if I was pulling it off to experiment with it.
I like
Bard,
that
cleric,
joke
wizard.
less.
Yeah.
And I am not a cleric.
I see. Then perhaps you can recommend where did you say this cleric would best be located?
Well, you want to talk to the Church of Kelvamore.
Kelvamore. Well, then I suppose we shall do so. Thank you, Professor. I apologize for wasting your time.
It's all right. Next time, don't cut my class.
Yes, I will endeavor not to.
And, I take it you still need this, or can I keep him?
We still need him. Perhaps afterward.
All right, well, if you come up with any more samples, I could use some fresh stock.
I understand. Thank you, sir.
All right, so you pack poor Murd back up.
Back in the barrel.
Yeah, back in the
roll him on out of here.
Roll him on out of here. You throw him back on Earl, and you go to the church.
You went from not desecrating the bodies and honoring their burial to,
Yes.
yeah, you could have them when we're done with them real quick.
Well, there's a difference between being polite and what he actually intends to do. But, as we pack, as we're walking towards the church of Kelvamore, I let everyone know. Like, now that we're gathered together, had some strange occurrences, and our adventure has taken some twists. I was accosted, well, more strangely greeted in a way that she didn't think I knew who she was, but I met Jill of the Last Laugh in the streets, and she gave the information that apparently these goblins are coming in through Orax's bathhouse, and said to tell Captain Skellerang that her debt is paid. So this continued connection between the guard and the last laugh and the power struggles within the city seem to continue. The other thing is that the child that was whisked out of Jzadirune by that beholder, Terum, he has now been adopted by Lord Vantru and named as his heir. So whether he was always Lord Vantru's child or not is a whole other thing for which we need to look into, and just what kind of things are going on there that it cannot be. I do not believe it's a coincidence that one of the most powerful families suddenly adopts and names a child an heir who was whisked out of danger by a beholder.
That's very weird. Do you think it's of their own volition, or is it another Keegan situation where they're being pressed into that action?
I know not which, just simply that it is strange, and that I don't think it is a coincidence.
As you approach the Church of Kelvamore, you hear, it sounds like it's getting to be sunset. It's been a long day of walking around and dealing with stuff, and it's getting to be, late. The sun is starting to go down over the edge of the volcano. And you can hear evening prayer, which sounds very much like a Gregorian chant or a funeral chant, as another day is laid to rest within the church. You do see guards out front with skeletal face paint. Somber. They show no emotion. They stand there at the ready. And they watch as you approach.
Does anyone have a connection here, or who wants to speak to them?
Oh.
Gold. Gold is the connection.
Could we speak with someone in charge? We need to... I am Sir Feldruucan of the Church of Helm. We are looking for a cleric who could assist us in speaking to a dead associate.
They both look at you, they look at each other, they nod. One goes inside. After a few minutes, a rather large gentleman comes out. He is wearing funerary robes, which is customary for this faith. Good evening. My name is Father Ivan. Parishioners call me Ike, Father Ike. How may I be of assistance?
Father Ike, I am Sir Feldruucan. Feel free to call me Feld. We have in this barrel a goblin that was slain by one of its compatriots. We are on the hunt for the goblins that are worrying the city, and seeking more information for its master, one known as Drakthar. We believe that perhaps in being able to communicate it after it was betrayed by its compatriots, and if there was compulsion placed on it, that perhaps it would be able to give us some more information about the threats to the city.
So you wish to speak with this dead goblin?
Yes.
Very good. There will be a fee, of course, a donation made to the church. We can speak about that momentarily, but for the moment, bring him inside. I shall prepare the ritual. We have a room. There is a viewing room off to the right here where you can bring the body in We shall lay him in gentle repose, and then we can begin the ritual. This will take some time. It'll be about an hour to cast it. You will have about an hour to speak with him, if the soul is willing. If not, I don't know if I can compel it.
Does the name Drakthar mean anything to you?
No. I know not what Drakthar is.
And he spoke of monikers such as Lord of Rats, of Drakthar being of the Fog, Lord of Bats, things of which seem to be, which I've only heard stories of vampires and such. Does this mean anything to you, or is it?
Well, within our church, we believe undead of any kind to be most foul and unnatural. That all souls should be lain to rest and allowed to proceed to the afterlife. What you speak of does sound like it could be some sort of undead. But I've never heard of living goblins serving such a creature. At least not willingly.
And if he was under some sort of compulsion, do you know, I have no experience with such things, that whether it tends to be cut at death or no?
I know not. I suppose you'll find out.
I suppose so.
Next week.
Bum, bum, bum.
Ba, ba. Yeah!
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it is just after 10 o'clock, so you know what that means. It's after 1 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast, so if you've been hanging out with us tonight, we definitely appreciate you. But to be more specific, it means that the Brute's done for tonight, so we will be back next week, 7 p.m. Pacific, with episode 23 of Brutes in the Shackled City. Can't wait for this one. I think this is just getting better and better. I'm having a great time with it. I hope you guys are too. If you want to play at one of my tables, I would love to have you. Please look me up. I put all my links in the chat earlier. I will put all my links in the chat again here as we end the night. But most importantly, please take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Take care of each other. We're almost through this thing. As I mentioned before, help your friends, help your family, help anybody that doesn't know how to use the internet to get an appointment to get the COVID vaccine. Let's get through this. Let's get this done with, you know. So if you know somebody who's eligible and they're having trouble getting an appointment, help them out. These systems are put together really quickly, and as a result, they're not always the most accessible. So, yeah, that's enough of me getting on the soapbox about all that stuff. Once again, tonight's music was by Michael Gordon Shapiro, my creative partner. Tonight's was once again the soundtrack from Super Sidekick the Musical. Check it out at supersidekickthemusical.com. Check Mike out at mikemusic.com. And thank you so much for joining us tonight, Julie. Really appreciate you checking it out. I hope you had a lot of fun. I know we had a blast tonight. And yeah, we will be back next week. Guys, you guys got anything you want to shout out? Anything you want to say before I sign us off?
Nothing as
Doing
important
great.
as the stuff you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
real
what he
quick,
said.
from all of us to you, Nate, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Nate.
Happy birthday, Nate.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday,
Happy
Lorenzo.
birthday.
We hope we have you back next week. And we look forward to having you back at the table. But tonight we understand family first. We wish you, Denny, and the kids. Hope you guys had a great night tonight. We miss you, buddy. We'll see you back here at the table soon. And Joe, good luck with everything going on at work. We know things are really busy and stressful right now for you. So we look forward to having you back to kill some stuff. And I've got some big plans for you too. So we'll see you guys back next week. And hopefully you guys will join us too. But like I said, I'm putting all my important links in the chat now as we sign off, and then we'll see you soon. So thanks a lot. Have a great night. And roll them 20s.
I'm in. I hear you need a bit of rescue.
someone bolder or stronger. Okay, perhaps you're looking for some monster slaying or some save the day and we'll wait no longer. Cause help's a coming and foes are running, cause they don't stack against blackjack. I'll save the day, send the creeps away, and display my stylish tan. Cause the hero's here, oh yeah. It's me, I'll save your kittens from the tallest trees. Really, it's a breeze, not a problem. Get down, I'll wrestle hungry dragons to the ground, or fight any giant or goblin. I'll mop the floor with the demon core. If you've crime in store, watch your back, Jack. I'll save the world and charm all the girls, and forget about Superman, patooey, cause the hero's here, oh yeah. So many people sing my song, and all those people can't be wrong. So rest assured I'd understand if you should swoon or kiss my hand as I go forth to take my stand, to see what Providence has planned, to see what destiny has got in store for me, what fatefulness of fate draws near and or awaits. What was I saying? You're great, I'm great.
He's great, he's the hero all the villains hate.
Cause they know I'm the latest sensation.
Bar none who battle evil till the battle's won.
And I'm fun at formal occasions.
Now help's a coming and thugs are running, cause they don't stack against blackjack.
I'll solve the crime and be back in time to sign some pictures for adoring fans. Cause the hero's here.
Blackjack, I think we're late.
Oh yeah! Always left behind, always stuck on the sidelines, just a guard when things get tough, when things get hard. I'm told to step aside. I guess I understand. I'm just a sidekick, after all. Not very daring, smart, or tall. Nobody who could turn the tide. But what I wouldn't give to be asked to come along, asked to lend a hand, allowed to risk a fall, allowed to take a stand. If they just let me try, they'd see. But I guess there's no point in wondering what I'd do if I were a hero too. There's no point. It's just conjecture. So I won't think about it. I would race through the night, patrolling each city and street, ever diligent, ever vigilant, nothing escaping my view. I'd perform mighty feats, rescuing damsels and battling jerks. It'd be part of a good day's work if I were a hero too. Some might not know my name, but I'd defend them just the same, 'cause it's right and it's good, and the comic books strongly imply that I should. And those who shake in fear will shake no more when I am here. I mean there, I'll figure this out, and when I do evil had better beware. And that's just the start of all that I'd do if I were a hero too. When all seemed calm and peaceful, I'd walk among the people of the kingdom, concealed by my secret identity.
Oh, hi, Inky.
Hi there, Mr. Smith. What are you up to today?
Oh, nothing, just tending the garden. You?
Just enjoying a walk, not leading the fight against evil in any way.
Hi, Inky.
Hello, Mrs. Applebaum.
I saw smoke rising from your basement yesterday. You wouldn't happen to be constructing a superphotonic modulatory energy condenser for use in laying siege to villainous fortresses, would you?
No?
Oh, my mistake. Have a nice day, sweetie.
That was close. I'd battle goblin hordes and evil ghouls with evil wards. I would shine, I'd take a stand against litter and cutting in line. I'd keep watch on the skies, knowing that evil never lies. I mean, lies down, it lies all the time, but that's why I'd be around. And when I was fully grown, I'd have a sidekick of my own, and he'd never be left behind. Never stuck on the sidelines as a guard. When things get tough, when they get hard, I will keep him close at hand. In a team, side by side, that's exactly what I'll do when I am a hero too. Man, I really need to pee. I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm not afraid of the dark.